Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another fabulous edition of 13 Card Subject Exchange. Leroy's in his seat. Jesse's over there getting some stuff for the show, but he's got some nice yoo-hoos there that he can snack on while he waits.
And I'm causing a problem today.
Yes, you are.
These are little Debbie
Your boy,
snacks.
the problem, now has a problem in MAW.
He was betrayed, but we will get to that at some point.
I did see that. We might have to talk to Paul.
Ladies and
Eventually
gentlemen,
we can.
if you're wondering, number one, I've got some bad ribs. I'm an idiot. I'm not asking for sympathy. I screwed up. Story for later. But folks, if you're wondering why there might be some tears on the show, it's because Jesse's going to get to see Shibata at Wrestle Kingdom, and Jesse has been crying ever since.
I've cried out of my eyes and out of the other orifice a little lower.
Jesse,
I am super excited for
this is almost a family show. We shouldn't talk with.
I know.
Never mind.
I know.
Folks. That is either going to be the quietest match for Jesse or the loudest match for Jesse.
I'm gonna put I'm gonna put two pillows around my mouth.
Yes.
To make sure I do not wake the neighbors.
Yes.
Because I'm going to lose my shit.
Because
I believe he is going to lose his shit.
Yes.
I'm going to lose my
The neighbors are going to wonder what the hell's going on.
Also, we're just going to get this. All right, a couple of things to get done off the top of the show.
Yeah.
Number one, attention, internet. I don't give a damn what happened. I don't give a damn what's real and what's not. Ty Conti and Sammy Guevara's personal lives are none of your effing business. Please stop with the crap. All right, enough of that.
Totally agree.
Ty Conti should not have to delete her Twitter because you people can't get over the fact that a couple of videos are apparently leading you to whatever.
Can I jump in real quick?
Please do.
This is the only thing I want to say.
Please do.
I've had to say it before on the show. I've had to talk about it on Twitter, which my Twitter is gaining a following. Trust me, people, come banter with me. Jay Stowe Ranting on Radio, come banter with me and Leroy at 13_cards. We love to banter with people. Damn it, stop being so toxic about nothing. This was unnecessary. The girl might not even be on Dynamite this week because apparently you guys caused her to have an emotional breakdown.
Ty Conti is
Leave her be.
Ty Conti, first of all, again, there's not much to say here because
and it's not all, but it's a loud minority that continue to cause these issues.
Folks,
kill it, man.
Folks, let's be honest here. If you're a guy doing this, you're mad because Ty Conti's not calling you.
Right.
Number one. Number two, ladies, I'm sorry, we're all toxic these days. Everyone needs to shut the hell up. Like, unless your house is in order, please don't freaking comment on anybody else's. I'm sorry.
But it's just
it's insanity. It's all.
It's so crazy to sit there and try to blame her. We don't know what's going on. Yes, they've done a lot of events together recently. They seem to be very close friends on the
Twitter.
On the YouTube show.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's fine. And so people were like, "Oh, we're connecting the dots."
Can I also
because
point?
She recently separated from her husband.
Can I also
which,
point something
by the
out?
way, people were wrong about Charlotte and in a certain Andrade.
Yes.
About
and
that.
Not to cut you off here, but the fact of the matter is that whilst it might have an issue with how we personally would handle our relationships, if it did happen the way the internet says, it's still none of your goddamn business.
Correct.
It's two young people who by the way, okay, I said this when Paige had her leaks. I'm sorry, folks. You can't put a bunch of young people together on the road in close quarters for months on end and not have something happen. I'm sorry, that's not how life works.
Right.
That's just basic human psychology.
Yeah, totally.
It is no one's business. The young lady is allowed to do whatever the hell she wants. And again, Mr. Boys out there who are on her, okay, yeah, you guys have morals. No, you haven't had your area taken care of in a while. And so you are like, why is she not in my DMs? It doesn't matter. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Right.
Leave the two people alone. It has nothing to do with it. And the fact of the matter is that Sammy Guevara, number one, at the end of the day, it all goes back to it's none of our business.
Right.
And number two, if Sammy Guevara and his ex-fiance, have ended their relationship, if she is not going to publicly bash him, we got nothing to go on. As of right now, I'm going off of what I know, which is more than I need to know, because again, it's none of our business.
Right.
They have separated. They realize that it's just not going to work out. That happens sometimes.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, folks, it's none of our goddamn business. And if Sammy And by the way, I want to point something out. My two parents have been married since 1987. They were together whilst legally still married, but they were also legally separated. Shit happens.
Yeah.
All the time.
Okay? Do I look at my parents any differently? No, because I have nothing to do with it. They've been married and they've been happy ever since.
Right.
Since 1987. And they're good and they're whatever, and I don't care. And by the way, to this day, I've always said, if my parents got divorced now, I wouldn't care. And here's why. I'm 30 years old. It's their life. It's their life, not mine.
Right,
They're
right,
family,
right.
but at the end of the day, you have life separate from family.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
I don't give a damn what anybody says. So, no, we're done with that. And also, just to get this out of the way, because it needs to be, oh, my God. I hated seeing this because it's been a long year for that family. Rest in peace, Jimmy Rave.
God, yes.
I am so sorry that happened.
It's just.
Well, it's here in
It literally, this is the definition of from bad to worse to absolute rock bottom.
Like, it's. You always want to tell people, when they lose people, like, listen, just try to remember memories, and it's tough. Grieving is tough, and then you lose someone else. Not that far after, like, it's devastating.
Well,
Nothing but love to the family. It's just devastating.
Well, I think first one that he had that medical condition where he had to have the surgery with his legs,
right.
and then right after that I was like, wow,
He lost both legs.
so shocking.
And he died because of an infection with that. And by the way, folks, infections happen. It's not a perfect system. Again, all you people out there who are calling it the plandemic, the scandemic, this, that. Medical science is not perfect. That's why there are problems.
Right.
I'm sure the hospital was as professional as possible, and it still happened. Shit happens, okay? There's nothing that, I mean, it's like, okay, if they investigate it and they find there was one miscommunication that might have gone to it, it still doesn't mean that was the main problem. So, so right now, I just want to say this is a guy who, again, because of the way the indies have been followed for years, he was in and out of my wrestling life. He was in and out of my TV. Spent some time down there in Impact. But Jimmy's just one of those guys that, damn it, Jesse, he looked like he was having a good time no matter where he was working.
And then the fact of the impact that he had on a lot of up and coming wrestlers and still up and coming wrestlers, because he's been in the industry for so long.
And what's crazy, not to take away from Jimmy's ability in the ring. I'm not here to do that. I think it was just more the person he was backstage.
Right.
That's the legacy.
Like an absolute leader, like someone the guys and gals could go talk to and get advice from. He was open book, apparently, and I was only blessed to meet him in passing way back in 2002. Yeah, 2003 at an ROH show, but I mean, he seemed like the sweetest guy then. So this is pretty devastating. I tweeted out right away, like, nothing but love to the family, and
did they set up a GoFundMe for stuff for him too?
They have, yeah.
All right. So yeah, if you're out there and
Kevin
if you
Steen, who actually at first donated $1,000, must have got the first bonus from the new.
We'll talk about that.
Which we'll talk about.
We'll talk about
and then donated another $5,000. So Kevin is actually giving a lot to the.
But yeah, definitely. If anybody's out there and you are a fan of his, send $5. That'd be much appreciated. Do what you can.
Jimmy,
it's just nothing to do.
Like I said, Jimmy was one of those guys that, again, he was in and out of your TV because of who he worked for when he worked for them.
Right.
The indie scene, really, Jesse, you've talked about on the show when WWE had that lull in about 2012.
Right.
That's when it sort of started to blow up, and finally there was video of things. Finally, it's really sad that that wasn't available more in the heyday of Jimmy.
Right.
When he was really sort of that guy that, like you said, was a big part of ROH, for a period of time and all the other kind of stuff.
ROH shows used to be hard to come by. Like, you had to either go buy the tapes, or like you had to go find the copies that like people put on like the LimeWire like sites on the internet. You had to search it out because otherwise you weren't going to find it.
Right.
And he was in the ring. He was insanely entertaining. Had kind of the snide heel kind of gimmick, and it was so much fun.
Jimmy,
but he was also such a baby face. Like he was an all around great wrestler. And man,
and you hit the
man.
nail on the head. He's not a guy that I think Vince would have ever looked at and said, I can make the money I need to make off him.
Probably not, no.
But he was definitely a guy that, like you said, could do anything he wanted to. And
I mean,
you know.
it's one of those things. I think, before the incident and then the disease.
Yeah.
I think he had already gained. By the time 2014 came around, he had garnered so much respect on the indies that he could have showed up for a signing and people would have been willing to pay $100 just to go talk to the man.
Yeah, exactly.
He was so well respected.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're gonna miss you, Jimmy. But right now, our thoughts and our prayers go out to your family, who obviously
totally
have to live with the fact that they won't be able to call you tomorrow, which is
insane.
rough. Jesse alluded to it. Jesse, I thought Mr. Khan boasted about having more money than Vince.
You know what he also did?
Hold on, no, hold on.
I only have one thing to say about that. Bullshit!
No,
Oh,
Jesse,
God, there was
Jesse,
something in my
Jesse,
throat
Jesse.
there.
Once again, Tony Khan, Anthony over there, has backed
Anthony.
himself into a corner by not backing up what he said. You said you had money to buy Vince whenever you wanted, but let's be honest, Daddy's not going to write that kind of check.
No.
But the other thing about it is that, wait a second, it was reported, I think, by Sean
Ross Sapp.
Yeah. By Sean Ross Sapp that, and I quote from Sean, or it might have been Dave. Oddly enough, Dave reported this, which I'm surprised Dave
did
put a
actually
real
report
spin on it.
this, yes.
I think it was Sean that said, though, and I quote, it might have been Fightful, and I quote, it was an offer that AEW didn't feel they could match. 4 years, reportedly $2 to $3 million, and I can't be cut reportedly unless I ask to be.
Right.
Jesse, they couldn't match that? Last I checked, CJ Perry was on their radar for a little bit.
Aren't they paying Sting $5 million for the 2 years?
I think so.
You're telling me that you won't
It's
cut
very
half
shocking.
of the Dark roster to bring in Steen? Jesse, please make this make sense.
First of all, let me say this. KO, I'm happy for you. Because you went to Vince. And this is the one thing about AEW that I do agree with the Sean Ross Sapps and stuff about.
Okay.
You can pit the two companies against each other if you're a star and know that you're going to try to get the best deal possible. As a matter of fact, you could do it with three companies because you could do it with WWE, AEW, and New Japan.
Well, but this is my
and
point.
Pit them against each other.
Mm-hmm.
This is my point. We all know, and we'll get to him a little later.
Mm-hmm.
We all know that why Adam chose AEW. It wasn't money. It wasn't creative. It was.
And at this point, I gotta hope it wasn't completely the Bucks. I really do gotta believe it was Britt Baker.
Right. But my point is that we said on the show, Adam, please just make sure you get your money.
Right.
Because we're all about the wrestlers getting paid.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we're here to do. I'm always pro wrestler.
Right.
Now, but I want to say something right here. $2 to $3 million for Kevin Steen,
Guaranteed.
who, as you said, and I quote, there wasn't really anything left to do in WWE except maybe a tag team title run.
Right.
So we'll get to where do we go?
Or possibly winning the WWE Championship.
Yeah, exactly. Now
That is coming, a fatal four-way.
we'll get to
That's next week. We'll
where
talk
does
about
KO
that.
go from here later in the show?
Right.
But where does AEW go and how do they look? Jesse, this is a guy who's up for one of those awards of he arguably could be considered a king of the indie guy.
Oh, for sure.
His run with ROH, his run before WWE signed him to NXT, he was, first of all, again, Jesse, find it, send it to Leroy. Leroy, you got to see Ladder Wars versus El Generico.
Oh, my God.
That match is a legend in itself.
I will go find that. I did read that a couple KO a couple days after signing it, he put out I think he put out a tweet about it.
Yeah.
Saying flat out, he's been here for so long, it's like family. He chose this was the best thing for him and the best thing for his family.
I'm not saying that,
I totally agree.
I'm not saying that Kevin made a right or a wrong choice because, again, I said the same thing about Cole.
Mm-hmm.
Do I come off more as a WWE guy? Yes. But I said to Cole, do what's right for you.
Right.
And I think Kevin truly did that.
Right.
But now my question is Jesse, this is a guy who tweeted out the coordinates to a very specific place in the United States.
Called Mount Rushmore.
He was in a stable called Mount
Rushmore.
Rushmore. He's one of the founding pillars of when PWG got big. I don't want to say a founding member of
Right.
PWG, but the promos from PWG, the Ring of Honor stuff.
I was going to say the Ring of Honor stuff was huge too.
But Jesse, I mean, this is Kill Steen Kill.
Yeah.
This is Kevin Steen.
Right.
Who is now, at least for the next 4 years, which are arguing might be the last 4 great years he's got left in him because of all the injuries. Jesse, how does this look to wrestlers who were thinking about, okay, I'm a year or 2 away from getting signed?
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Steen is clearly someone that, if you're in indie wrestling, you look up to Kevin Steen. You have to.
God, yes.
Everything Kevin Steen did in the short time he was on the
Right.
indies, it's legendary.
Right.
It's arguably an indie Hall of Fame career
Onto
itself.
Without a doubt.
But what does this look like to the future? And what's really funny is that this goes against everything people were reporting, is that nobody wants to sign with WWE anymore. First of all, an enhancement talent in the female roster just got signed to WWE in NXT that was on AEW for a while.
Yes, that is
Actually,
true.
let me break that down really quick.
Okay, yeah.
Before she signed, her name is drawing a blank. If you remember it, shout it out.
Yeah.
She actually had 3 more scheduled matches for Dark.
Really?
And they offered her, most of the time they offer them about $30,000 to $40,000 a year. So basically they're making like $20 an hour just to go train in WWE. And
I'd do that and get my ass kicked.
I'm pretty sure she was offered $80,000. Chester Price.
Tessa Price.
There we go. Yes.
Yeah, she was. I'm pretty sure. I'm sure they'll confirm the numbers at some point.
And they,
but I think she was offered
by the way,
75 to 80,000.
as an enhancement talent,
Yeah.
she had some good dark matches.
Yeah.
She did.
And
As it
so
gets dark in here.
after doing so after going through all that in AEW, she said, "Fuck it, I'll just take the NXT check."
So again, Jesse, going back to the original question.
Yeah.
What does this say to people on the indies? That Kevin Owens, of all people, Kevin Steen, is staying with reportedly the Big Bad Wolf.
I think what it says is that I'm right. They have signed too much talent down there in Jacksonville.
How do you not have enough money to match $3 million in the wrestling business?
Oh, by the way, the firing of Shah Khan apparently has caused ripples in AEW. Because remember, Tony Khan said...
You can't run a football team, you can't run a football team, and you can't run a wrestling team. This is looking bad for the Khan family right now.
Like, didn't he say something about
it's not looking good at
WWE
all.
contracts are temporary and we actually signed you to a deal and we just kind of let your deal run out if you're not going to stay with us.
Wait. A deal with WWE is temporary. Oh, so you mean a contract?
There you go.
Right now, Leroy and I have temporary contracts with Quick Trip. It's just whenever Quick Trip wants to end them, they end them. It's temporary whether we retire there or whether we get fired.
Oh.
It's that simple.
Or we just quit.
Yeah,
Right.
Well, but that's my point. They're temporary to a point.
Right.
Yeah.
You just fired the head football coach of the team that makes you relevant.
And you don't plan on paying him the other 4 years of his contract.
Which is,
I saw that. That's very interesting.
And by the way,
if that works out.
Well, they probably have legal ground because Urban Meyer's an idiot, but
sadly though,
he'll get another college coaching job. That's because you can't put him back on TV.
No. Well, here's the deal.
It's one of those. It's almost like one of those things. If
No offense to him,
if a
because-
wrestler got fired for all the backstage stuff he did,
Yeah.
and then they had like a wrestling. Say they brought back the one that they had on Fox, right?
Yeah.
And then they brought Alberto Del Rio in to talk about backstage stuff. But I don't want to hear that from that freaking guy.
I'll say this
kidding
though,
me?
Jesse.
Shit.
Jesse,
Oh my
Jesse,
God.
Jesse, I'll say this though. Short-term memory in the public eye. Not that what he did was anywhere as bad, and I think he got more because of his celebrity status.
Yeah.
Fox put Michael Vick back on TV, and I'm not mad at Michael. I'm really not. He served a
Well,
debt to society.
I'm about to say he went to prison now.
he served his time.
Right.
Yes.
He acknowledged what he did
And it was
wrong
also proven that, and by the way,
and asked
folks,
for his forgiveness.
and-
Right.
yeah,
Boom.
and by the way, folks, it was also proven he kind of got mixed up and then just couldn't get out of it.
Right.
Yeah.
That was proven in court. He just still took. He just didn't try to stand on that. He took what was given to him.
Well, it was also the fact that when you finance something like that,
Yeah.
you're going to go down the hardest.
And I agree.
Oh, yeah.
And I agree. But my point is, Jesse, is that right now, it's almost like the cracks in AEW the Jaguars had a lot of momentum around the same time that Bryan Danielson and CM Punk got here. I'm serious. There's a real parallel here.
Mm-hmm.
You sign Urban Meyer, you get the first overall pick, you have the most cap room of any team, and you still trotted out a Bishop Sycamore style team. For anyone that doesn't know that story,
Look it up.
please look it up, because how that
ESPN got played.
Woo! Anyway, and they still lost like 53-0 to a high school team.
Right,
anyway,
right.
But Jesse, it's almost like the momentum of the Khan family is derailing everything they do.
Right.
The reason why we're not hearing much about Fulham is because A, they're no longer a Champions League team. And number two, we're obviously across the pond from where that's happening.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I mean, come on, Shad's got to be sitting here thinking to himself, what is happening overall in the only thing that at this point's keeping me going? Because, I mean, obviously the bumper thing is the bumper thing, and that's where he made the money.
Right.
But right now he's got investment in multiple sports ventures, and it's like they're all not so great. We'll talk about the ratings here in a little bit because
Right.
that was kind of funny.
I just think a lot of it is these AEW fanboys that think that their shit is the greatest.
Well,
And
we'll get into that here in a second.
and they're dogging on WWE.
Right.
Well, nobody wants to go there. Wrong.
But the guy. Oh, by the way, Jesse, the other thing about it is that now, if you're the Bucks, arguably the only thing that was going to make you a ratings draw again is now not coming.
Yep.
Arguably the one thing that. And by the way, the crazy part about it is Cornette said it, Brian Last said it. Everybody had Owens to Steen.
Yeah.
Everybody had him going back.
Yeah.
But
And then he all of a sudden comes out and breaks the. And I find it funny. We break the internet.
don't throw the spoon away.
do
Sorry,
it
kids.
myself. I
Yes,
do it
yes,
myself.
yes. I paid for those dang spoons. I don't want them in the garbage.
But Jesse, and what I love about the internet is because it was pro WWE, it was a lot quieter than it would have been if he was going to AEW.
It's like no one actually wanted to report the fact that he went back.
no.
That is true.
I was surprised Dave was actually one of the first 5 people to report it because normally Dave would have been A, late to the party, and B, found some way to make AEW come out good and find a way to bash Steen for staying. But surprisingly, Dave reported the facts,
Yeah.
and he was a reporter, not a butt buddy of the Bucks.
But here's the question: Kevin Steen goes AEW because the Bucks thinks they can be more relevant again.
I mean,
Is it?
They're relevant.
How is it?
They're relevant.
They are relevant.
I'm not going to take away their relevancy.
They're a pain in my ass
Yes.
to watch.
But more
They are
people
relevant.
are realizing what we are saying. What Cornette is saying is
Before we
they're
get to
not
before we get to that, yeah.
good. So why is Kevin Steen going to make them better?
Well, okay. First of all, Kevin Steen, again, he has clout. Kevin Steen, Jesse will confirm, he can work anywhere he wants. He can do whatever he wants. There's nothing that Kevin Steen can't do in wrestling right now because of all the years that he's built up.
Right.
But my point is this, is that Kevin Owens is disproving every report that, A, there's problems in the locker room, because we all know Kevin's a big guy in the locker room.
Right.
We know this. Kevin's a big locker room guy.
What have we always? I've
Yeah.
always appreciated. We've always said it. The problem with WWE isn't the locker room.
No.
There's good leaders in there. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, apparently incredibly well liked when he comes back because he's always very positive towards the locker room.
I think Brock is now looking back on wrestling, and even if it's just I have all that I have because of wrestling,
Right.
Brock seems to be a little more. I'm not saying Brock's
'Cause
buddy
I'll-
talking with people backstage because Brock Lesnar, as Kurt Angle has said multiple times, just doesn't like people.
He's often said how much he hates people.
Yeah.
But you know, there's just great leaders in the locker room. The problem is creative.
Yes.
Clearly.
Yes. Yes.
But
That's
otherwise,
where the
locker
problem
room
is.
is good. They all like each other in
But
WWE.
but honestly, I mean, Kevin Steen goes there. The young
for the
Bucks,
most part.
Yes.
the young Bucks get what 2 weeks flash in the pan again.
No. Every debut,
Would it be more than that?
Every big debut gets them at least a month of ratings. They'll
Okay,
have a
but
couple
that's it.
900 shows, maybe one point something in there. But again,
It's literally a 2-week push.
And then the Bucks get more and more
and the other problem
irrelevant
about it is
after that.
And the other problem about it is that once again, Steen comes in. He's the biggest guy in the group because they've completely ruined Adam Cole.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Do you maybe not want to maybe try to cut your hair and see what Vince has for you in the main roster?
Hey, good luck, Kyle.
Oh my God.
Good luck, Kyle.
Yeah, that's.
And by the way, Jesse, there's actually reports surfacing that he's gonna actually just take some time off and then maybe come back. There's actually some people that are actually there's a small real rumbling that Kyle O'Reilly might be staying in NXT. They may just want to take him off TV to build something new a little later and possibly get the stink of Von Wagner.
Well,
off
I
him.
mean, now the big rumor, of course, that started after Dynamite is the fact that
Cole's got a present.
Well, two certain executives apparently called a Wyndham and apologized and have been kissing his ass because maybe they were wrong, and now they're trying to kiss his ass to see if maybe they can get him back.
Oh, Jesse, a quick question: were any of those executives Vince?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Once again, okay,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
true.
denying that Vince may have said he was hard to work with, but I think Jesse has listed out. Vince can be convinced that someone's hard to work with, more so than they're actually hard to work with.
Yes.
But Jesse, like you said, if anything, Wyndham's either gonna,
Well, he's going to do the movies for sure.
he's got the
but-
movie stuff going on, so there's that. Yeah.
So, but the fact that it's like AEW didn't even apparently has barely reached out. So, so the rumor is that
Wait, hold on, Jesse. It's now been officially 3 years since the Authority thing. Wait, I thought WWE was the only company that didn't listen to their
I
fans.
know.
Hold on, Eddie, Mr. Kingston, please, to the stand, please. You.
Do you think he will do that? I
Mr.
don't
Kingston,
know.
please state your name for the record. Oh, right. Okay, you said live on cell phone video that AEW, All Elite Wrestling, based out of, I believe it's Jacksonville, Florida,
Jacksonville,
sir.
Florida.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
They're the only ones who listen to their. Oh, by the way, you left out that New Japan listens to what the people want.
Well, especially when we get pissed off.
Anyway, Jesse,
Oh yeah.
if what you're saying is correct, Buddy Matthews and Bray Wyatt, oddly enough, BB, and an M and a W, just kind of
Right.
Anyway,
Weird.
they're not even talking to these two guys.
Right. Yeah, they never reached out
You're
to
me-
Buddy Matthews.
you're
they
sitting-
never even reached out to him.
Do people realize that Buddy Matthews? Okay, some people may not see him as a main event talent.
Before you even finish, Aleister Black. So
Aleister Black tweeted.
Tommy told him he tweeted about the fact that I did try to set up a meeting between Tony, Buddy, and Cody because he wanted him there.
Yeah.
And they didn't even call him.
Didn't him and Aleister Black or Tommy End just have like a killer match on
Really
another
awesome
promotion?
feud in WWE.
But Jesse,
No. When they had just recently at
yeah,
independent
yeah.
promotion, they had a
That
killer
was
match.
phenomenal.
But Jesse,
I saw some highlights of it.
again,
Damn.
not
Great.
that I think anyone would see Buddy as a Rock or a Stone Cold,
No.
but to say Buddy couldn't be a guy that would work with A, anyone, and B, just have great matches every night.
And sometimes you talk about fit. You
Right.
tell me he doesn't fit within AEW's construct. Like the way they do things, he doesn't.
Joey
he doesn't
Janela
fit.
apparently fits, and they've brought back Dwarf Dong Sucker.
I'm not even talking about Joey Janela. I would like to keep this very delicious swish roll that you gave me
We appreciate
yeah,
this
yeah.
one, Spencer.
in my stomach.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
I
won't
totally
talk
agree
about
with
the
that.
Puke stain on pro wrestling.
Can we also not ruin
That's Joey Janela.
the beautiful shirt that you have on right now?
Yeah, because I don't want to be a problem to the problem. He's already got enough problems.
Exactly.
as it is.
But Jesse-
He does.
But Jesse, even if WWE has to kiss ass,
Yeah.
and first of all, if Wyndham comes back and gets everything he wants, we're all for that.
Right.
I don't care if it's Impact, AEW, or WWE.
Right.
If he wants to do wrestling again and he gets whatever he wants, more power to him, 100%.
Oh.
I get the sense because his wife has spoken to not JoJo, but is it JoJo? Yeah, it's JoJo.
Yeah, JoJo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
says JoJo.
She's spoken a couple of times just with little hints.
Yeah.
I think his plan was to always go back.
Yeah.
So so it feels like that rumor dropping when it did, especially before, because now he hasn't even done the interview to shit on them,
Right.
Which All
That
class to
shows
him.
something.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a lot of because he was going to do
But-
it.
He had,
But you know what?
He had an interview set up where he was where we
Well,
talked
he's gonna
about
say
it.
something, yeah.
Everything that was coming out about the interview.
With Chris Van Vliet.
Yeah, exactly. What was really weird, though, to all you AEW stands, there was not a hint towards Vince in any way.
No.
But
There
here-
actually was never a hint. Seriously, somebody tweet us, find me the hint that said he was going to rip on McMahon.
No.
But there were plenty of dropped hints that it was going to be on.
He's an
Brother-in-law.
attraction.
Yeah.
All right, here,
People power.
here's
Jesse,
the fun part.
Jesse, not to interrupt you, Leroy.
Okay.
I'll let you go in a second.
Oh.
This before Leroy goes. This is not the last thing I'll say on this, but this is something that needs to be said a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
This is a black eye to AEW, and they're not willing to even talk about it. Go ahead, Leroy.
Well, here's the fun part. Bray Wyatt comes back to
Yeah.
WWE.
Yeah.
There's 2 kids in the other room that will be excited. And this dumb demographic that they're using that I'm not part of, let's see here. Do I have to probably buy a few things with Bray Wyatt and The Fiend
Yeah.
for those 2 guys?
Yeah.
When I already bought, Evan got a Fiend
By the
God
way,
already.
Those
I'm
items
gonna
are
spend-
popular still.
Yeah.
I'm gonna spend money on these because these guys,
It's
my
really-
kids love
Right.
that.
It's really weird.
It's crazy.
But Kevin Owens
and I'm not in that
re-signing-
demographic.
Right.
Kevin Owens re-signing. No rumblings that Kyle and Johnny are leaving just yet. Leroy,
I'm telling you, I think Johnny's just going to take time off and come back.
why not?
I think he's just going to go to Raw.
But Jesse,
I think
Jesse,
that's what's going to happen.
but Jesse, that was literally my point. Leroy,
He's gonna be a he's
gonna
gonna be a dad.
Yeah.
I've
but
been
that
a
was my point that I was going to, Jesse. It's weird. All of a sudden, people are confused that guys just want to take some time off before going back to the same
By
thing.
the way, went and took a photo with him, the wife, and then like the brother and stuff, and went to go see Spider-Man, which everyone should go see. I'm not going to spoil anything. Excellent fucking movie.
Oh,
Make
yeah.
sure you stay for both post-credit scenes.
yeah, I've heard about it and read
Marvel.
about
I
it.
don't
Yes,
Take your kids. It's
I know.
phenomenal.
I got to figure it out.
It's Marvel. I don't leave until the guy in the theater goes, "Yeah, we're done. Gotta
Hey,
go."
get out the theater.
Seriously, go.
Are you sure you're not anywhere? No, but
But my point is this, Jesse. This is a AEW. When stuff comes at them, they say nothing. Even WWE has acknowledged AEW at points.
Right.
They've even talked about the momentum they had when Danielson showed up, when Punk showed up,
Right.
which, by the way, died really quick. But, Jesse, AEW, man, are they quiet when WWE wins.
I just want to say, MJF, man, I just want you to just kind of watch your wrestling surroundings for the next 2 years.
Well, not to mention, MJ.
Just watch your
Here's the deal,
wrestling
folks.
surroundings.
MJF, if he goes to WWE, he'll get one thing and in minimum better than AEW. He'll at least be on TV twice a month.
He'll probably lead storylines like for all of a big show, like Raw or SmackDown. He'll do that. Yes, he cannot go on WWE TV and say meth head. No. But can he still do the rest of the stuff he does? Absolutely.
Yeah.
he go head to head against
Plus, he plays
Roman.
a rich snob who doesn't break kayfabe. Vince is gonna love this guy.
You can't
Yes.
tell me because remember, Eric Bischoff once said it in the book, which I'm getting for you by the way.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait.
He said in the book, nothing happens in wrestling without Vince knowing. That means MAW's got some feelers of the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
There's tape everywhere. Vince is like the NFL. Every team's got a scout at every college football game. Teams hire 120 guys to go to 120 different football games every Saturday.
Right.
Vince knows what's going on.
Right.
He knows about MJF, and if anything, MJF's made himself known to Vince because MJF is nothing if not I'm going to pit you against Vince, even if Vince doesn't know who I am, because I'm gonna get my money out of this if I have to.
Right.
He's gonna Johnny Manziel the fuck out of this.
Yes, he is.
But my point is this: is that Jesse, and I seriously want you to like take people back to your PWG days. What are people? And I'm talking fans of the indies and the wrestlers.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah.
A and B. What exactly are both of them feeling because of this? The fans who thought he was going to AEW, and the wrestlers who, again, Jesse, Kevin Steen's legend on the indies.
right.
is never going away.
And so for those who really thought he was probably going to go back with the Young Bucks and probably work again with Adam Cole, there's probably some hurt feelings. But here's the thing, feeling those hurt feelings, you have the right. That's fine. But it's not like he's getting screwed over in WWE. He's always in a very fun storyline. He's always in a good feud. He's always working either near the main event or at least in the top of the mid-card. Like, he's a guy that when he's around, when he's not taking time off, they put him in highlight spots. So it's not like this is a guy that they don't value, because they clearly value him. You don't give a guy a guaranteed contract like that where he can't get released unless he wants to, unless you want to really keep him around.
Well, and it is a definite sign after the last few weeks, before even this came out, it's like, they're putting him in a triple threat match at one of they're trying to establish the first Prime pay-per-view of the year, and they're trying to, and it's like, okay, they don't want to sign him, and he's getting featured in one of their new biggest pay-per-views. Yeah, he's staying.
Like, they don't want Kevin Owens in the Royal Rumble.
No.
They do not want that guy. Like, come on, man.
And all the people,
come on, man.
And by the way, to all those people that were watching Raw and saying, Owens just looks so done. He's always been facial expression first. So wait a second. Jesse was there.
Yeah.
I caught it mostly secondhand through clips. But why do I know Kevin Steen better than the people who supposedly are the smart indie people? What? Kevin Owens is just good at what he does.
He's excellent at what he does.
I saw a clip.
Kevin Owens. We're gonna talk about how great Kevin was at the last Raw because I was there. He had cards, by the way. We missed his PowerPoint. We really wanted to see it.
Oh, damn it.
I was hoping they were going to bring it out during, the commercial or something, but, anyway.
Well, go ahead, Leroy.
Go ahead.
I did see a short video. I don't know where it was, where there was a fan in the audience right by the aisle. He grabbed their hat, and he jumped in the ring. I'm not sure. I hope that fan got his hat back.
He did get his hat back. That was funny.
But I understand if he didn't.
Yeah.
If I lost a hat because of that, I'm okay with that.
Let me just say this.
That's him.
This also means, interestingly enough.
He once took. I'm not sure if you've ever seen this. I got the chance to see it. This is early in his career.
Yeah.
When he took a girl's doll to beat up another wrestler, kissed the doll, handed it back to the girl, gave the girl a high five, and then went back to being a heel. Like this is what he does. He's always done this.
I hate to say this.
He's great.
I hate to say this. One of the all-time greatest winning percentages in ROH history is actually Kevin Owens' son.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know if you, Leroy.
I'll have to look that up.
Oh, it's so good. Leroy, during a small ROH show, I think it was a live event and not a taping.
Okay,
he literally walked over to his wife, picked up his 1-year-old son, and placed him on the wrestler and the referee counted 3. His son is unbeaten in Ring of Honor history.
Awesome.
But
that's a great legacy to start
Jesse,
there.
now we move into what could be another domino falling in WWE's favor. Where does this put Sammy's situation?
Sami Zayn?
Unless Sammy wants to retire, there's no... unless he decides to go be exclusively New Japan, he's not going to AEW. What the fuck? What would he do there?
But he worked with the Bucks, remember?
Hey,
everyone who's ever worked with the Bucks and got a name, which, by the way, is the reason why the Bucks have a name, everyone thinks is eventually just going to show up.
I don't know if people have been watching SmackDown.
Sami Zayn's one of the best parts of SmackDown.
I don't know if people have seen why Brock has been so good. We're going to get to Brock.
And by the way, it's been reported. Nobody has actual confirmation. It's been reported Sammy's resigned.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I
heard about it. I would have to look it up.
I love Sami Zayn and WWE. I love him on SmackDown. Oh my God.
The problem, actually, the legitimate problem for Sammy is he shows up in WWE, and all of a sudden everyone's like, "Oh shit, he can talk." The best version of Sami Zayn is in WWE.
It is.
Yeah.
The more entertaining. And don't get me wrong, El Generico was great.
Oh, El Generico was hilarious.
But he didn't talk very much.
No.
So yeah,
Maybe we'll
He's
get.
also been endorsed by Stone Cold Steve Austin on
True.
more than one occasion.
That's very
Stone
true.
Cold's brought him up in some of his biggest Stone Cold
That's
podcast
true.
episodes, even if it's just been a random. And I love Sami Zayn. You can do anything with that. He's been endorsed by Stone Cold.
I know.
I mean,
Let's get the Canadian brothers as a tag team.
Oh,
Him
my
and Brock.
God, I want this to happen.
That would be
The
fun.
chemistry between these two guys is so good that the thought is there's a chance they're going to go back to Brock and Sammy again before Mania because it's so good.
Well, yes, it is. Oh my! I just love it.
And Brock apparently loves working with them. Apparently the backstage where it was like, after the first couple segments, the first couple times they worked together, one of the last times where he kind of made Brock break character and fucking piss his pants, basically laughing in the middle of the ring, was he went backstage with Vince and Sammy, and he's like, why didn't we work together more? He's like, you're great.
Is this better than him and R-Truth?
Oh, he loves R-Truth though.
I know. I mean,
I don't know. That's a good question.
And by the way, folks,
it's a very close
very
tie
close.
there.
And by the way, folks, Ron Killings has made a dent in the wrestling business that will never be second to anything.
No.
If Ron wants to just
He's made a killing, no pun intended
exactly.
whatsoever there. Oh,
but
he
if
did.
Ron wants to do what Ron's doing, first of all, Ron was the first ever black 10 pounds of gold holder.
Yes, he was.
Yes.
Ron has been well respected by everybody, and at the end of the day, go watch the story. And by the way, he's got no reason to lie just because it's WWE editing.
Right.
Ron never thought he was going to do this anyway. Ron thought he'd be a...
Well, shit, because he admitted the second time, he really didn't think he was going to come back a second time around.
Right.
So, when Vince kind of convinced him to come back, because that's, of course, when he did get the heel run and got the title shot run.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, because at first he was like, he's like, I've been there, I had a great time, but at the time, because we keep forgetting the man's in his 50s.
Yes,
because he is barely aged.
Yes,
yes, that's so true.
He is barely aged in 20 years.
You want to talk about black don't crack?
In his case, it never. It feels like it don't.
It's kind of like me. I haven't aged in hundreds of years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
125.
Close
too
to it.
bad.
But Jesse, I think what is us going all the way to R-Truth proves that the momentum, I don't want to say is officially swinging back in WWE's favor, because I think now they're more on even playing field.
Right.
But this is, Jesse, if if Brian Cage left, we all talked about how big that could be. Kevin Steen was that domino.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now, at least for the next 4 years, I mean, Jesse, again, I've said it before and I'm going to say it again because it deserves to be said more. This is a black eye that they don't want to talk about in AEW.
Well, here's the other
because
part.
Jesse, if anything was going to lead Steen back to the Indies, it's doing the same shit you used to do, but getting paid more.
I think what John Gresham is about to go do in Atlanta is about to cause major issues for AEW.
Because John's got a lot of pull in the Indies scene.
Right.
John,
Yes, he does.
People don't realize John, more so in the last couple of years, really came up in that Ring of Honor main event scene. But the influence that he really has, and by the way, folks, Atlanta, oddly enough, Atlanta is not that far from Jacksonville.
No, it's like a 6-hour drive.
And
6 hours by bus.
They're
with the first interracial baby that's being led by a police escort.
But there's more.
I got nothing else to say on that, folks.
But there is another team, another couple wrestlers in AEW that their contract is coming up, and they even stated that.
There's a lot of them.
No, there's one that's surprised they went there, and now they could be leaving soon. You know that, right?
No, well, okay. Who are you referring to? Because like a bunch of people's contracts are up, and I think even Tony Khan is like, "Do I really want to re-sign him? Because all I'm doing is paying him to work dark, and it's like, what's that really doing to me?"
FTR.
Oh, I know that.
They are so they are an interesting case. Because here's the thing. The boys should have never even fucking left.
Oh, that's...
You were multiple-time WWE Tag Team Champions. You would have stayed in the Tag Team title
you had
picture.
to do one itching powder thing with the...
Oh, my God, you had to do a comedy segment in WWE. That's
So,
bad.
but
Welcome
it's
to
true.
WWE.
So,
just get it over
so
with.
yeah, they
Wait,
talked
hold on
about...
a second. WWE did one, but every single segment the Bucks do is a bad comment. It's like, okay, I get it. All right.
All I'm saying is I used to work for a competitor of you guys'. I used to have to deal with a couple of drunks and a couple of druggies. Like it's normal, okay? Like you just know in a certain line of work you got to deal with just certain shit that you don't want to deal with, but you just got to deal with.
That's like a crazy day at work.
Normal day where you are.
Well, yeah.
In their case, they because they felt so underutilized. I bet you now they get how it feels to be actually underutilized.
Jesse, even
now they could stay because with working with AEW, it allows them to kind of keep working with CMLL.
Right.
It allows them to go work New Japan if they would like.
Yeah.
Because it's taking Nick Khan too fucking long to get the contract.
But you also do realize, Jesse, at this point, if that's why they stay, at this point, Tony Khan is paying other wrestlers to work in other places.
Oh yeah,
Basically.
That's what this is.
But I mean,
Tony's.
what are they gonna do?
They're getting 2 paychecks to go to Mexico.
Yeah.
2 paychecks.
I mean, listen, man. Jim Cornette actually got this one right. I can't believe those words came out of my mouth. I've been saying that a little too much in the last year and a half.
I mean, you need to check your temperature after the match.
We have brought you to the other side.
He's not there yet, but
All right, he's halfway there.
he's afraid to put his whole foot in that river.
I don't want to put my other foot in the river.
That's fair.
One's kind of already in because I'm like, shit, it's hard to disagree with this man now.
I could say this. This is funny when I said, yes, Jesse, come all the way to the dark. Come all the way over to the dark side.
Not yet. We're not there yet.
But
anyway, go ahead.
It's one of those things where it's just like, do you guys get the problem of working with the Young Bucks? Do you get it now? I think they get it now. I mean, the Lucha Bros are fine because they get it. If they're not on television, they're still going to be one of the most popular tag teams.
Oh,
in the
yes,
world.
The
they
Lucha
are.
Brothers could go back to Mexico and still live the very fruitful lives
Right,
that they have
right.
there.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
It's
whatever they're going to be comfortable with whatever they do here in America.
Yeah.
But FTR really, because they went there because they felt underutilized.
Yeah.
You got buried there for a few months there, buddies. And now you're finally
Weren't
tag
they
team
in a
champions.
faction? I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, they're still in the Pinnacle.
Oh, they're right, Pinnacle.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember the name because, for God's sakes, I haven't seen hide nor hair, nothing involving it in the longest goddamn time.
If you don't watch Dark, you wouldn't.
That's fair. Oh, by the way,
That's true.
by the way,
Yeah.
to that one site, I forget who it was that reported MJF or Wardlow teases leaving MJF. I'm like, okay, I know this clip is from like last Dynamite. Yeah, that's been teased since literally the fucking second week of.
They're also
That's true.
They're also teasing him maybe gonna beat up on the chairman, which I mean I would love to see because that guy's fucking worthless to me.
You made him the chairman of your board, and let's be honest.
I mean, he
Your
could
board
be the
sucks.
chairman of Checkers.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
You know what? No.
That's not good.
You
No.
know what? I apologize. You're right, Leroy. That's an insult to Checkers.
Yes, it is.
That's
yes.
how horseshit that guy is. By the way, congrats to your wife for having a better career than you are. Good job, buddy. Good job. Talked all that shit
Yep.
and try to make her have a singles run that she should have just waited for.
Yep.
Because they're doing great stuff now in the tag team division and the women's stuff with Impact and NWA.
Which, by the way, can I also point something out? And again, I hate to be that guy because I don't want to take away from those two lovely ladies. They're doing the same shit they were doing in WWE.
Right.
And
The,
looking good still.
There's literally not like I'm not joking. There's literally not a difference.
No.
Maybe there's a slightly less comedic tone, but we all fell in love with the comedic tone of the Iconics anyway, so it wasn't like it was hurting them.
They literally got over it. Now,
And I wish they would have kept going in there because we had that spot that we were going to do.
We can still do it, but guess what? I think I found an edit to it. I'll tell you about that later. Anyway,
We got to make that when it gets warmer. We got to make that work.
but Jesse, now, okay. But do you think that if Tony Khan puts FTR and the Briscoes in the same ring, is that enough to keep FTR?
probably not. Because now,
If I'm the Briscoes, I would never go to WWE for two reasons. One, they don't need money because they live on the family chicken farm. That's their day job. And two, they would lose what makes them them.
people do know that's half kayfabe, right? I hope you guys know that is half kayfabe.
only half kayfabe.
Only half kayfabe.
It's only half kayfabe
because Jim confirmed that's what they do on their daily jobs.
The one brother actually has a house like fucking Matt Hardy out there,
right?
So like he actually has a compound home.
No, I understand. But Jim Cornette confirmed that their day jobs are working on the family chicken farm.
It's half kayfabe though. It's just weird to me.
To tell you the truth, if I had enough money and if I could go back and do stuff like that when I was younger, I'd still do it because I would enjoy it.
You know what pisses me off?
And they're doing it. I mean, I don't know. I would enjoy it. It's weird, but I would.
Whatever happened to Mance Raider?
I don't know.
We'll have to talk about that one day.
I'll have to Google him and find out.
But otherwise, no, there's no reason, even if they do this feud, there's no reason for them to stay. I think Mr. Copeland has shown, maybe going back ain't the worst idea. We'll actually probably get more time off and more money.
Well, the other thing about it is
because WWE ain't running house shows like they used to.
No, but that's the other thing, Jesse, is just boys,
because it loses the money.
Yeah.
What a weird concept, by the way. Why are you bringing these big fucking sets to house shows? They never did that before.
Right.
No.
But my point is this, is that, boys, there's no way in God's green earth, if I sat you two down and I played you your WWE run from start to finish, and then I played you your AEW run from start to finish, there's no way that you're happier with the second reel. There's no way. I'm sorry.
No, No, I don't think so.
First of all, the WWE reel's a couple of years, whereas the AEW reel's about 25 minutes. It's shorter than the match you had against the Bucks.
But it's like FTR and the Briscoes. If it doesn't happen in AEW, where does it happen?
Probably in GCW.
Yeah,
and that works. That would be about it.
And that's the only thing bad for Tony. They can go other places and do it.
Well, and the other thing about it
it'll be good.
Like Jesse said, the heat for Jay's tweet seems to have really cooled off. Nobody really seems to have a problem with it anymore, especially when he explained that I shouldn't have done it, but it was kind of me doing kayfabe. The problem is that Twitter and kayfabe don't work unless you're MJF and you really don't cross a line.
Well, here's the thing. Because he never breaks kayfabe. He just seems like a genuine piece of shit.
Exactly. He's just a genuine jackass.
Even his parents say that.
His parents apparently don't break kayfabe. Because they literally call their son a piece of shit openly.
But now, Tony...
What great parents.
Right? Now, Tony, we got something else we got to talk to you. Anthony there, Boyle.
Don't you like how he addresses him?
Anthony, you're yelling at the Republican News Network now.
Oh boy, this shit.
What are we doing, Jesse? Why are we doing this? What are we doing? Like,
people thought that Eric Bischoff was being an asshole,
right?
But Eric Bischoff is the guy that within the first 2 years was one of the most counseled people you went to because you understand he has so much knowledge about the business, and is probably the only guy who had a billionaire's backing that got real close to dominating pro wrestling outside of Vince McMahon. So when he tells you, dude, sometimes just shut up and just focus on making your product better. That's it. Because if your product's great, you don't need to say anything. You can let the fans talk about it.
And by the way, not to mention, I hate to say this, I hate to give any love to Fox News because my God, are they white?
They're that kind of white that, like, I think white people like you see, and you just feel disgusted.
You're disgusted with being white. But Jesse, here's the stupid part.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't wrong.
No, they weren't.
All they did was say how the ratings have declined, and by the way, they have.
Right. SmackDown was back over 2.2 million.
It was, yes. But Jesse, Anthony, come to the table, please. We got a microphone, Tony.
Hey.
I know you're a billionaire's son. We like to be accurate here with our information,
correct.
and we like to apologize when we're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd like to report.
We do?
We do.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
We
yeah,
do.
I
We
do.
do.
Yeah, I'm
If
kidding.
If we're proven wrong, we're proven wrong.
Right.
Yes.
But no, I'd like to report things as a proper journalist because apparently, once again, I have journalistic integrity. Don't know how or why, but I do. You are.
Yes, you do.
Mr. Tony Khan. You are a billionaire's son.
Correct.
You have dealings with your daddy's. I'm sorry, your father's business investments.
Correct.
Your father's name is what ultimately got you into Arthur Ashe to begin with.
Correct.
And
Yeah,
if you really wanted to go across the pond, you would be in Wembley Stadium because your father, help me out here, owns Wembley Stadium.
I believe that's correct.
Oh, and by the way, folks, Jesse is sort of right about things. It's not in China, but Bryan Danielson will be appearing in a country known as Qatar. He is an
yes, I did
AEW
see
signed
that.
wrestler, and I believe Qatar was recently brought up on issues with their World Cup situation and how they were violating human rights to build the stadiums for the World Cup.
That is correct.
So, yeah, you talk about Vince taking the money, boys. Oh boy. Anyway,
They're taking something.
I don't like to tell people I told you so.
Go ahead,
but,
Jesse.
I fucking told you so.
You did. But anyway, Mr. Khan, back to the interview. Is it not true that your Friday night show has gone from
Sucks.
Hold-
Sorry.
Leroy,
I'm apologize. I apologize.
Leroy,
Leroy, we
please,
must be a
please,
professional
please.
during
Okay,
this
okay.
interview.
All right,
please.
sorry.
Mr. Khan, is it not true that your Friday night show, which I believe is called Rampage, wasn't there a video game in the '90s called Rampage?
Well,
was it?
hold on.
And
I'm gonna answer your question. Hold on, Zach. I'm gonna
There was a
answer your question.
movie of the same name too.
Well, you guys gotta actually let me answer the question. You see, I
Would you like some Adderall,
see,
sir?
the-
Would you like some more Adderall than you already have?
the whole reason we named it Rampage was we wanted people to kind of get a old school feel, almost like the video game, and we can then get the youth to come back to pro wrestling.
Mr. Khan, isn't it also true that your show, despite peaking at the debut of a Mr. CM Punk, I believe I'm saying that correctly.
Oh, Philip does a wonderful job. Yes.
Okay. Anyway, I believe that ever since that return, I'm being told by my producer, your
Yes.
ratings have not gone up a single Friday night since.
Whoa. You know,
They keep going down.
Leroy, let our guest speak.
Let me answer the question. Guys, I feel it's a little unfair. It's a later Friday, and
Then why don't you change the time slot?
Whoa! I'm going to answer your question. Hold on. I'm going to answer your question. Hold on. Cody, I'll talk to you later, Cody.
We're not. We don't want Cody.
So, hold on one second. Well, first of all, you guys have brought up my son and my daughter, the first interracial babies. Cody, I thought it was just one shot. It's just one shot. I'm gonna let Tony take over. Thank you, Cody. Appreciate you, brother.
All right.
So yeah, it's a work in progress, Rampage.
His wife seemed like someone that would have an insightful comment. I could be wrong, but maybe it's just...
I'm not sure about that one.
So one day you guys will talk to Brandy. It is not this day.
Please God, no.
But
please don't make me laugh.
We
My ribs
are
still hurt.
we are working to make it a better show, and I just want people to be fair about this.
All right. Then quick question. In all fairness, according to my recent research, so you had the CM Punk return,
Correct.
which helped your show peak over 1 million.
Yes.
And 2 Fridays ago,
Yes.
your main event was someone named Adam Cole versus someone named Wheeler. Is it Yuta? Yuta. Okay.
Wheeler Yuta from Philly.
Do you not feel this is a downgrade?
No, Adam is helping to build young talent here.
And I'm being told by my producer he's in a group called the Best Friends who like to hug.
So the group is kind of a play on some old school 80s movies from back in the day that I loved as a kid, and I think the group is great. And then we, because of our opening of the Forbidden Door, we've been able to. Hey Tony, though, but with the Forbidden Door, didn't you kind of burn Impact? I don't don't know if I would call it burn Impact. Things just didn't work out the way we thought they would. But yes, with the integration with New Japan, we were actually able to kind of get the old Roppongi group back together with their blessing and kind of create a storyline of the old Bullet Club versus the old Chaos.
To break our kayfabe for a second, I'm about to say something, and I wish we had a cricket sound, but we don't. But Mr. Khan, what would you like to comment on the rise of your women's division? End of interview.
Oh, so true.
Anyway,
And
we're
if
never
any-
doing that interview now, but God, was that worth it? Woo-wee!
any comments, please send them to our YouTube or
I think I watched
subject
another
to
of the
change at
interviews.
yahoo.com.
I think I did a good job.
I think you did all right.
Yes, you
I
did.
think
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
You needed a little more Adderall and some cocaine.
You
to
know what?
actually
Probably
get
more
it.
cocaine.
Yeah,
Probably
definitely.
more
yeah.
cocaine.
Cocaine. He's a hell of a drug.
But anyway, Jesse, your impersonation was so good. The only thing it was missing was a really, really bad first-round draft pick.
Oh, damn.
I can fix that next time.
That's fair. Are you finally going to take a kicker number 1 overall? Anyway.
Oh.
But anyway, Jesse.
I'll take a cheerleader number 1 overall.
There we go. But folks.
That's true.
Folks, now it's time to move into last week it was mentioned. Oh, by the way, just a quick note here, folks. We'd like to promote something that's good other than Fox News. If you want something that Fox News would not approve of, but we certainly approve here, ladies and gentlemen, Dark Arts Entertainment presents live professional wrestling monthly at the Super Beast Training Compound out in Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada.
That's right.
A hybrid of pro wrestling with an underground feel. Dark Arts Entertainment shows also include live bands, sideshow entertainment, food, beer, and more. And as always, they are 420 friendly. Sorry, Fox News. Come see top talent and matchups you won't find in any other promotion in Vegas. For more information or to get tickets, head over to darkartsvegas.com or grab our official mobile app from the App Store for either iOS or Android today. We love them, by the way. Absolutely great.
Oh,
guys
yeah.
Actually, I
over there.
believe has some shows coming up here after the new year.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
if you're heading to Vegas for that first vacation
Yep.
of the year, definitely go get the tickets.
We're definitely gonna Leroy, put it down for our post holiday show on the 26th. There, we'll definitely look into some of those shows.
Right.
And
See if we can't review them and watch them. And
yeah.
And I'm actually hoping that I can kind of get us to one in the spring. And
Okay, yeah.
I think that would be. I think
Yeah,
that would
it'll
be
be
a lot of fun.
But anyway, folks, last week, after I finished the show, I went home and went directly to bed because I had to get up early for a dental appointment, which then led to Monday Night Raw in St. Paul. And before you people get on the attendance things, I'm just gonna get that out of the way so we can get to the fun stuff.
Go for it.
Number
yes.
one, wrestling attendance is down everywhere. Not
It really is.
Not even AEW's packing 10,000 people in the arena.
NWA show looked pathetic.
Number
the other
two,
the
there's
other
this
week.
thing called the pandemic that, yes, isn't
Right.
over. I'm sorry, it's not.
Now we have Omicron.
And number three, it's a Monday night in Minnesota following a snowstorm.
We'd still get there.
Well, yeah, we still get there, but the fact is that it's. But and Jesse, you said off mic earlier, St. Paul's been a rough town to draw in because
It's hard. It's impossible.
If people aren't from Minnesota, there is a divide between Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Yes, there is.
St. Paul is the old school capital, more political side town, whereas Minneapolis is the more progressive. And when people think of the Twin Cities area, they think the Minneapolis
Right,
area.
right, right.
Very few people know that it's the Twin Cities
Right.
outside of us. They think of Minneapolis,
Right.
which by the Minneapolis, multiple major Fortune 500 companies
Oh, yeah.
have their home office
Yeah.
in Minneapolis,
Yep.
Minnesota. But the fact is that, first of all, it's a hockey arena.
Yes, it is.
It's a beautiful arena for hockey, but it's member hockey.
They only put 7,000 tickets on sale.
And that's the other thing, Jesse. It's not like they tried to sell the entire arena.
right.
That was never the point
It
of anything.
It didn't feel like it was ever in the cards.
But no. So I'm not here to address the attendance thing because again. Oh, and by the way, to all the official reports out there, if you're gonna put pictures out, could you at least put out a picture that doesn't say main event on the freaking ring apron, please?
Yeah, I know that helps.
Could you like come on? Oh, by the way, Veer is actually now on main event. He was on main event on a dark match. So
Whoa! He made it from India.
he did.
Holy crap!
He did.
Maybe he's going to actually
beat
show
up-
up on Raw.
He beat up your boy Cedric.
Oh.
He finally made. They've been promoting that he's coming soon, and I'm like, damn, it's taking a long time to get from that boat from India
Yep.
back over here.
And by the way, folks, that's not a that's not a racial joke. That's literally
No,
there are boats stuck in the.
There's
Yes,
boats
they are
stuck.
everywhere.
There are
Damn
boats stuck in the
waterways.
ocean right now. It's ruined Christmas shopping for many.
Yes, it has.
But my point is
ruined
this.
gas stations and convenience stores from selling anything.
Exactly. Luckily, we
Yes.
make our own shit. Anyway,
Thank
but,
God.
But no. So to kind of chronicle the day, first of all, Jesse, we're gonna have to get you down to Rock Creek here quick because actually, Leroy, they've been sold.
Wow.
From what I hear, it's going to be demolished and turned into an actual truck stop. Now, truck stops normally have diners and
Right,
stuff
right,
like that,
right,
so I'm sure the soup will stay.
Oh God, I hope so.
But we have to get Jesse down there for that. But anyway, no. So
I do have to say that I forgot how many times I saw you on TV, and your lovely fiance.
we were in a great camera spot.
I saw,
by the way,
I saw her
I
first.
screamed right before they went on the air. Can somebody get Corey Megadeth tickets? And he call back to his calling of Elias versus Braun.
Right.
And Corey literally just looked over and said, "Yeah, why?" But no. So no. But by the way, okay, I have to tell a story before we get there because this is hilarious. So we.
By the way, did Allison? Because Randy Orton was sitting pretty close to you guys.
Randy was right in front of us. Yes.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was her. Did you almost lose your wife to Randy Orton?
No. Allison was more happy about Finn. Anyway,
But of course,
being so close to Finn was
was she okay after that?
She was more than okay.
I'm sure they had to mop the floor a few times.
That was after the dark match, and I'll explain why. Here's the deal. Right before the show, we met up with my boy Josh again.
Oh, okay.
Josh, Josh down there. Okay, the reason I'm saying this is more for Jesse. It's a funny story, but Jesse, we may have accidentally stumbled upon a future video for Exquisite.
Okay.
Now, for those of you that don't know, and I'm promoting him without talking to him, but he probably won't care.
Yeah, he'll love it.
They play the 1%. That's their gimmick as a
Right.
niche metal band.
Right.
Yeah.
By the way, he showed me some stuff they're mixing. Oh my God, I love it. Sounds a little early Phil Bozeman.
Okay.
So really happy about that.
Well, Josh, I'm not shocked.
But anyway, no. So we're walking down Lyndale Avenue to look for a place to eat, right before the show.
Oh, yeah.
And all of a sudden, Josh and I are talking about which restaurant we should stop at, and all of a sudden, I hear from behind me, "Mystery Books." And Allison is just, and no joke, waddling down a side street to a mystery bookstore that is tucked in the basement of an apartment complex. And what was even funnier was then they were like, oh, down the hall on the same, basement level, there's this thing called the Annex, which is more books.
Yes, yeah, I've been there.
It's basically first edition signed copies of things. The funniest part was just, oh my God, some of the names that they give to horror films. Good Lord. But anyway, Allison got some Agatha Christie books. She's a big fan.
Fun. Oh, nice.
Also, so they took us to the Annex. There's two rich-looking chairs and like an old-school browned-out globe in between. And Jesse, no bullshit. Josh and I both locked eyes and we were like, "Hey, Josh, future video." He immediately texted the band, and they were like, "Fuck yeah, we'll do this." By the way, even funnier story. Allison entered. Me, Allison, and Josh. I guarantee we're the only ones who entered this because it's such a small little bookstore.
Yeah.
We entered a drawing for a free movie ticket to the new Guillermo del Toro movie.
Yes,
coming out.
Nightmare Alley.
Yeah, Nightmare Alley. Allison won.
Oh, nice.
Wow, that's awesome.
She got an email, and I was like, "Hey, Josh, yeah, she won." He texted me back, "Are you fucking kidding me?" But that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I love going to antique bookstores and just finding stuff. Also, I've recently acquired a book that Jesse can't wait to grab. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a future date.
Oh, yeah, for
but
sure.
anyway, we get to the show, right? They let us in. I found out right before the show from our boy Gene that the Bronament was pushed back due to injuries on both teams. So obviously,
which had to happen at the house shows that Saturday.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what ended up happening is we get in, we're sitting down, we're having a good time before the show. First of all, folks, this rumor out there that people leave an AEW show more happy than they leave a WWE show, completely false. Vince is still the master of taking care of the live crowd. We get there. They're talking beforehand, and first of all, I yelled at Mike Rome, the ring announcer, because Allison recently showed me on TikTok right before we went down there that apparently his top 3 bands on his year-end Spotify was Ghost, Ghost, and Ghost, and I'm like, brother, you got to stop listening to Ghost. Number one, I'm sorry, folks, but they're a black metal band that's recorded on potatoes. Screw Ghost. But
no comment. You can deal with that fan base.
Address
all critics and concerns to Zach Bonshore.
Zach Bouchard, I got no problem with it. Fuck, whatever.
Go for it.
But anyway, no. Dark matches were Veer versus Cedric on main event.
Okay.
Main event was taped really quick. It's taped about a half hour, before the show.
Right.
But I want to point something out.
They like to use main event to kind of test the stage and stuff too.
The crowd the crowd was super into it, which I'm sure that, the TV. First of all, the rating went down from the week before, but I want to point something out. I felt like it was one of the better Raws of this year. At least that's how it felt in the arena for us. Okay. We had a great time. The wrestlers are actually super interactive with people. We got a high five and some love from Nikki ASH. She
cool.
came over during the commercial break to high five everybody. Super into it. Something I didn't really realize, because I think when she was down there for NXT, she was busy wrestling. But no, Rhea Ripley, she is a show woman.
Really?
No, you don't understand. When when she puts the boot down and the pyro goes off and everything, and then she says, "Come on!" When the cameras go off, when the red light turns off, she is hyping that crowd. She's out of the ring. She's high fiving everybody. By the way, they sign things during the commercial break.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
No, they'll actually come over if you've got a Sharpie. Everyone, all the camera guys and ring crew guys got Sharpies that they hand out. It's like, they'll sign things. They'll take photos there during the thing. And yes, people back then, were putting on the internet pictures of wrestlers not wrestling and everything going dark during commercial breaks. Yeah, it's not during the middle of matches. That's if they go to the break.
So basically nowadays,
with an entrance,
because TV wise, by the way, it's a shitty way to book TV, because you have the intro, then they do a backstage thing, backstage thing, commercial, backstage thing, the other people come out, do another commercial, and then you come back and it's the match, and you're like, how fucking long were they sitting in the ring? But if they're actually coming out and like talking to people, that's actually cool.
Kevin Owens, actually, there was one guy that was a little rowdy. He had a couple beforehand, but there was a guy that Kevin Owens yelled to the security, "Take care of this guy." Kevin goes over. He messes with people. He was messing with Byron.
Oh, that's great.
Kevin's yelling at people. He's taking some water. Turns out the commentators will actually. They'll actually talk a lot to each other by taking the mics off and everything and being able to talk.
Right.
But no. Everyone's super cool. Obviously, they have a job to do. So when the fans get a little rowdy, I get it. There was one woman that I want to be clear, only because again we're fans. And Jesse, I'm not trying to be racist here. She was an African American woman with her child. But if a security guard, white or not, tells you that you can't do something, he's probably just doing his job.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
It's like don't sit there and make an issue. And by the way, if it's an issue of there's no one in seats and you just want to move up, okay, that's not what it's supposed to be. No. That's not a thing.
No.
So, let's not get mad at security for doing their job.
Well, and the only time that happens is if they decide, because enough people didn't buy a top section.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll be like, "Hey, you guys can just all move up."
Yeah, but the fact is again, Jesse, I'm only saying this because let's not make it a white-black thing.
Right.
She kind of got a little disrespectful to the guy, and I just want to be clear. Security's got a hard enough job, okay? Can we not mess with them on something that is clearly not biased towards anything?
Bruh, it's very simple. If your ticket was in the shit show and you thought, "Oh, I'm going to move up because the front seats are open here," they should throw you and your child out. And that's not your child's fault. You're an asshole.
Yeah. So please, security is usually a lot cooler if you don't make them have to work harder than they already are. because they're
And
working.
sometimes they'll actually let you sneak up.
Because they're working for XL and they're working for WWE
Right.
on that night. They
Right.
got enough shit to do.
Definitely do.
No, matches were great for us ringside. We had a lot of fun with everybody. Like I said, Nikki and Rhea were all cool. I got too sweeted by Finn. That was really kind of cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm a little jealous.
Allison was not too pleased that Finn didn't too sweet her. He too sweet me, but anyway. Becky was great. What she was wearing, we didn't understand, but Becky was great.
That outfit did not make any sense to me.
No, it did not make any sense. Is she getting
fucking-
fashion sense from her husband?
I think so.
I know.
By the way, anyone who thinks Randy Orton is bored with this storyline, Randy's having a lot of fun.
Oh my God, he is having fun.
Randy's just seemed to be really into it. He's super.
The best things I ever see coming out of like the Raw like shows with fans and stuff it's all Randy Orton. Like, so sometimes like people will post like, I think one of the best ones was literally a couple weeks ago. He did it again.
Yeah.
So like he came out and like a dude like had one of his old shirts when he was the Legend Killer, the original Legend Killer.
Yeah.
And he comes up, he kind of signs the guy's shirt. He's like, it's weird that you have this shirt from like 12, 13 years ago, man. All my kids are about to graduate from high school.
Yeah, right.
The guy's like, shit, me too.
Yeah, right. But no. Everyone's super cool.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think Again, it's about the kids. I'm not going to sit here and act like. Cause
also, Randy did the kind of stare down a girl's shirt while taking a selfie thing with the wife, but apparently the husband died laughing.
Yeah, I guarantee it. But no, Jesse. The other thing about it is that people got to understand something. If you're at a show and you're even my age, you're almost 30.
Right.
Yeah, I know you paid money for a ticket.
Right.
Let the kids go to the rail when stuff happens. I mean,
it's so weird to me, like adults getting crazy. So the last time I was at a WWE show, and this was years ago.
Yeah.
Me and my uncle were near the front row, but we were a couple rows back from the left side of the ring.
Yeah.
And every now and then the kids wanted to run up. You were just, even with my uncle's kid, we were just be careful. And the security then at the time were really cool about the kids just kind of running up. And that way, like, it looked really cool, like live on screen. The baby faces high five and the kids as they walk. And it's just, let the kids enjoy the show.
No. Nikki was super nice to everybody.
Yeah.
Signed a bunch of stuff. Rhea did the same thing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay. Remember, there are two shows.
Yes.
There is the TV taping.
Yes.
And then there's, again, Vince takes care of his people.
Yeah.
He takes care of the live audience.
Yeah.
Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch.
Oh, that's awesome.
First of all, great match.
I'm sure.
Second of all, I got to see Bianca not just appear on a show, but compete. I've now seen her on all three brands.
That's awesome.
I've seen her. She was a surprise at the NXT 10-year celebration. She was at SmackDown, obviously, when Allison and I were there. And then she did an interview live on television, but then she wrestled Becky. Mike Rome, I think, messed up because he said it was for the Raw Women's title.
Oh.
But Bianca won, but Becky still left with the belt.
Right.
By the way, anyone who thinks Becky is not doing great as a heel, if you're live, she's amazing. I'm not joking, because there was a moment where she was right in front of us in our corner, and people were booing. There was a little girl there, long red hair with a man's shirt on and a women's title belt. So she was there for Becky, obviously. Right. And Becky, I'm not joking, straight up, we're all standing there, we're all doing this, and in the middle of the match, Becky goes, sit down, you're cool, sit down. Straight up, just like, oh my God, it was so, it was great. And by the way, big ups to Bianca. As soon as the match was over, Becky, obviously being a heel, grabbed the title, ran, chicken shit heel stuff. Bianca stayed and took, I think, about 100 selfies before we walked out. Signed stuff,
That's
high five
awesome.
stuff. She was more than cordial to everybody.
That's
she did her
awesome.
best to put on a smiling face, which again, has got to be hard at 10 o'clock at night after you just wrestled and all the other stuff.
In that case, she would have wrestled twice, because she did that was a Dewdrop match earlier too. That
Yes,
night, wasn't it?
yes, yes. So
she wrestled twice. That night.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is that Bianca, I told her that I saw her on all three brands. She was super happy about that. She took every picture she could possibly take. She waited for fans to get their phones ready. And again, this has got to not be easy.
I got
because most of the people have left. Most of the cars are already on to the next town.
because now hearing you say this, and I've heard people kind of talk about this on Reddit when they go to a live WWE like taping of Raw or SmackDown. That's actually a better. So back then, if you didn't go try to find the wrestlers as they were leaving, you weren't getting a fucking photo. You weren't finding them because they had, of course, the merchandise people are just WWE merchandise people.
Yeah, exactly.
And then like most of the time,
Allison bought a Lily doll, by the way. So we actually
I did see that.
We have a Lily doll, yes, in our home. It's kind of creepy.
Alexa's hot. I don't care.
Yeah,
but yeah,
yes,
so
she
like,
is.
so like, yeah, like. If that's kind of what they're doing, like, so people can kind of take photos and go meet through, I'm cool with it. That's awesome. It almost gives it a mini indie show feel.
Well, that was the thing.
We can just meet the wrestlers
that was the
during
thing,
stuff going on.
is that, again, I try to explain this to people. You don't really get it unless you go.
Right.
You can sit there and say that people boo at a WWE show and then they leave pissed off. There's more stuff going on.
Right.
There's it's like in the commercial breaks they're engaging with you. There's not kiss cams, or there's like Cena cams. There's this. There's that. They do a lot of shit when the cameras are off.
Right.
It's not like you're sitting. NFL football is hard if you're live, in the sense that there are a lot of times that you're sitting there watching the players on the field, waiting for the TV to come back because they are trying to still produce a television show. But at WWE, they never really make you know that it's a TV taping.
You know which one? You know sport's the worst?
What's
Fucking baseball. Have you been to a baseball game that's kind of long?
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, they don't do anything with the mascot in between, like, the fourth, fifth, and sixth inning. And you're like, bro, I'm in a shit on the field, and you're just bored.
But it's just again, I said it with SmackDown, and I said it with, and I'm gonna say it again with Raw. I think that if you were unhappy, you're looking for a reason to shit on.
Right.
They can't give you more than they gave you. Bianca was, like I said, more than cordial, all ups to her. She is everything that people say that she is.
Right.
More than cordial. And again, even if she was doing it because she had no choice, she still put on a hell of a brave face for it. But it's just, it was great live. It was a lot of fun. Oddly enough, Maryse looks fabulous live. I just want to point this out. There's a lovely woman who's had two kids.
Oh, I'm sure.
But my goodness.
I gotta make it down to Orlando and go see Gigi.
Yeah.
For multiple reasons. But, yeah,
But
no intended on the butt.
Right. But the thing is, folks, we had a good time, but at the same time, I think a lot of people had a good time because, and again, this is what's fun for me to see it through Allison's
By the way,
eyes.
'cause I still remember going once and when Undertaker was heel American Badass.
Yeah.
And he actually he threatened to come into the crowd, whoop my ass, and pull me out of there with a chain. And I swear to God, we all high-fived each other.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, he's gonna beat me up.
But the thing about it is that I think people, and again, this is why I always focus on, like I said, Allison's getting to experience this for the first time.
Right.
But when you look at the kids, that's why they're there.
Like I said,
the
man,
kids, when you got a little girl saying you suck, you've done something. Okay.
Like I said, when you guys, because that was the first wrestling show I've been
just
to
go
in a
there,
while.
just go there and have fun.
When you guys kind of invited me to come work with you guys and Dave and Laney Luck with the kids, and I'm like, that's right. This is what I used to love about going to wrestling shows.
Yeah.
It's what it was about.
People got to understand, it's an independent promotion that just so happens to be the largest and most expensive
They have
one.
billions of fucking dollars to put on a show.
Yeah, that's all it is. But the thing about it is that, again, Rhea is she's a ringmaster.
Right.
She absolutely panders to everyone in the best way.
Right.
She wants you to get excited. Like I said,
by the way, I'll be honest.
Big E, by the way, Big E could not have been more cordial.
I'm sure.
God,
Big E was an absolute gem. He is everything. He signed belts.
Yeah.
He took photos. He high-fived everybody. Big E's a great guy.
Because I've been told New Japan it's kid friendly, depending on who's wrestling. Minoru Suzuki ain't going out there and shaking your kid's hand.
No.
He'll punch your kid in the face.
Exactly. And you will sit there and watch him do it.
You're like, why were you being?
I said, speaking about kids going to show,
You'll blame the kid.
Zach has been there. We're 2 different shows that I brought my son Evan, and the one was ringside, and the wrestlers knew, and they, they were, you know, 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 they w they saw that he was a little worried because we were front row that one,
Yeah.
Oh,
and
wow.
he and the wrestlers knew, and
Yeah.
they were protecting him.
That's awesome.
And making sure, because me and Jason were doing the same thing right around Eben,
Right,
doing
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But they were great to him. I mean, and Eben opened up, and then I said, February 12th, the boys will be
Yep.
back again at another
Right,
MAW
right,
show,
right.
and I'm
But
bringing
it's-
a third guy.
But it's just let me once
He's
again.
gonna love that show.
Yeah.
They're
Oh,
it's
yeah.
so fun
yeah.
going to work
but,
with Dave.
But again, like I've said, once again, if you just go to have a good time,
Right.
you're gonna have a good time because
Right.
Vince doesn't actually do anything to make you not enjoy what you're seeing.
Right.
Yeah.
He still is, in my opinion, Jesse, the puppet master of live entertainment. But it's just if you hate it, and by the way, the ratings were not terrible. 1.58. That's not a bad night.
It was
No,
really
that's
good.
not a bad night at all.
Now, Jesse, can I please get the ratings for Raw, SmackDown, Dynamite, and Rampage
So
of this
Raw
week, please?
was
1.5.
actually 1.6.
Okay.
Oh, 1.6.
Okay. So by the way, interesting story. The overnight ratings were at 1.5, so 1.6 is actually not down anymore from what they got the week before. So it was actually around the same show. Okay.
Right. NXT apparently was down to 580,000.
Before we get anywhere past Jesse, I think someone's listening to you because they just put Grayson Waller out there and they just let him heal it up. And my God, it was some of the
WWE.
it was some of the best television.
I have
I know.
openly put out two terrible looking resumes
Yes.
that come right for you.
Yes.
Just call me.
Yeah, it's pretty much it. We're gonna get into Grayson Waller because he deserves to be talked about after what he did on Tuesday.
Because like I said,
everything was perfect.
he was great.
He was so good. But anyway, so yeah, NXT was a little down.
But apparently basically only like 2%. So
Yeah.
the show's growing.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
NXT was up.
Or Dynamite.
Dynamite was up, but it still didn't hit 1 million.
920.
948,000.
48. It's interesting because I think what we're realizing now is 870,000 is pretty much the built-in loyal fan base that is never going to not watch, except on Fridays. Anyway, but Jesse, casual.
I do watch every Wednesday.
Yeah, casual 100,000. That's not going to keep you going too long.
Mm-mm.
But the thing that people got to understand is that we're once again giving you facts.
Right.
You can't beat Raw. NXT. Okay, I've given Vince credit about one thing. He's turned NXT into something that they're finally doing, and they're succeeding very well, by the way. They're finally doing what they were supposed to do, which is build stars.
Right.
Vince doesn't care about ratings on NXT because he's trying to build ratings for Raw and SmackDown. So Hunter was trying to compete. Vince just wants the developmental to finally work.
Right.
So basically, NXT is going to get a decent number, and that'll just make Vince slightly happier.
Right.
But as long as the show is showing growth, and as long as the guys are getting better, that's all Vince cares about.
By the way, they always like to talk about that key demo.
Oh, yeah.
It is basically stayed at 0.31.
That's the other thing. For NXT or
For a Dynamite.
Okay, so that's the other thing. You talk about this key demo thing, right? It's not growing.
The last time it was over that
Yeah.
was October.
That's been a while.
Yep.
That's been a while.
Was that a special show? It looks like it might have been.
Well, to be fair, the only millions they get anymore is if they have a special show, like, quote unquote, like I've told Jesse, like New Japan does, they name random events.
Right.
But anyway, so Jesse, now what was the rating for the real Friday night show?
2.3 million. I was wrong. It was 2.3 million.
And
for
before
Friday
we
Night
even
SmackDown.
talk about it, what was Dynamite? Sorry. What was Dynamite Light, or should I say
Rampage.
It was actually lower than NXT. It was 510,000.
So,
my God.
again, going back to the week before, I think it was the week before where it was Yuta versus Cole.
Right.
They don't give a shit anymore.
They just don't.
Quick question. With all the hype, with all the internet craze, with all the we're supposed to be the new analytical listening to fans, how the fuck was Hook not the main event of Rampage?
By the way, because I gave them credit last week because I thought that was a brilliant debut.
Oh, yeah, no, it was great.
How
How was he not the main event?
Why not? Yeah. What is it? T-minus 3 weeks for TBS?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
It's after their.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's after the holiday show.
Yeah, it's after the belts or whatever are on the line.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, yeah, I almost forgot about that.
Everyone forgot about that.
Everyone's gonna forget that first week too. I got a feeling those first week's numbers.
But by the way,
Could
I
be
think what
shit.
people also need to realize, Jesse, you forgot to tell the people at home what special night that 940, 970, somewhere in that range.
Oh, you mean when they actually got over like
No.
Or-
What was the official rating of this week's Dynamite?
Oh, so it was 948,000.
Well, before you go on,
But
folks,
it was because they had the title match,
no, Jesse,
and it was
No,
and
Jesse.
it was specially called "Winter is Coming."
but Jesse, this is the second one, and they dipped below 1 million.
Yeah.
The first one was Sting's debut.
Right.
Yeah.
So once again, you guys don't get it. You guys don't understand that while the Attitude Era was bad,
Yeah, it
again,
was bad. It was bad.
if you had Stone Cold in the first segment and he teased, I'm going to do something in the main event, people watched the whole show.
Right.
And yes, I'm kind of quoting what Jim said about the ratings, but it's true.
Right.
Is that every single show of Dynamite and Rampage, Jesse, it's like it's 9 different segments of different weeks.
It's so weird though because apparently
And by the way, folks, the sad part about it is, for the last couple of weeks, we've actually been complimentary,
I was gonna
but
say,
then they've shattered themselves again.
I was gonna say I actually was
Yep.
gonna give it a mostly high mark to for Dynamite this week.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's weird because there's a large segment in the fan base, and we know a ton of them
Yeah.
that have no problem with how the show is booked. So the PWL this week, our good friend Aaron McMahon Bowles.
Yes.
Because I
Love the gentleman.
I
Love him
thought
to death.
I thought it was insane. So so I think because the Bucks had a match
yeah.
and he just posted like, man, are these dudes ever gonna sell? And I'm like, I've been talking about this for like a year, including in the PWL, including on Reddit,
Yeah,
and now
yeah.
all you guys are saying it. What's going on here?
To quote Mr. Bowles, make it make sense. We've been trying for 3 years.
I'm like, dude, I've been saying like, dude, these guys don't sell anything. Like, it's horrible on the other town. They sell nothing.
Besides your T-shirts.
Well, that's debatable at this point.
To be fair, quotes from Vince sell their T-shirts more than
Okay, well, yeah.
they do.
That's the only thing they're
They
selling.
don't sell more than WWE merchandise. And by the way, Jericho, don't ever fucking say that you do ever again.
Oh, God.
Because you don't come close. But
He's having a little too much of the bubbly.
Until you can sing again, don't talk to us.
He don't need to sing
he
anymore.
don't need to sing again.
That's fair.
I agree, Jinx. Because I agree. But yeah, it's one of those things with AEW, and then Aaron also talked about the same thing I've been talking about for a year. Just and like I said, it's just my opinion, but I'm like, at some point, everyone else is going to realize this. Because it's not at this point isn't really even subjective, it's objective. Like Kevin, like when I talk about Kevin Dunn's production sometimes,
Yes.
and everyone can see it.
Oh, you can't unsee the 15 camera angles.
Right. But with AEW, it's like, yo, the booking of each story is so fucking frantic. And so, like, you have, like, so they'll put on a really good, like, 15-minute match.
And to one person that
open.
commented to me, I have to interrupt you to
Go
this,
for
Jesse,
it.
because I need you to go off on this person, even though I don't know who they are. For you to sit there and say, well, Paul Heyman wrote everything before the show, you're really going to tell me that ECW was formatted the same?
Bro, listen, that
No.
person doesn't know shit.
No.
Paul Heyman used to
He had a
was
show
actually-
in an hour that was better than what Raw and
I was
SmackDown
about
were
to
doing
say
at the time.
he used to have an idea
Yep.
for ECW the next week. Would get to the 4,500 and be like, let's change that shit a little bit and rewrite it on a pizza box.
Yep.
An hour before they were about to take the show.
And then he got to the 2,300 block as they were walking with the pizza, and all of a sudden it's like, hey guys, here's the match. And it's like, all right, that's what we're doing tonight.
So we're like that's kind of how he's always done it.
And oddly enough, the week-to-week television made sense.
I used to tell people ECW actually might have the best storylines back in the Attitude Era. They were really good.
Yeah.
And the pacing
yeah.
of the hour show was really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's It's one of those things. When I watch AEW television now, this week they started with the title match.
Commentary is also so bad because one thing Vince might overdo with his commentators is at least they call back to earlier in the show. At least they promote what's going to happen. In the show.
Right.
They at least remind you that something's either coming or happened.
Right.
They at least do that.
Well,
These guys are just, Bryan Danielson was just here. He's done. On to the Bucks. That's literally what the commentary sounds like.
who's on commentary right now? 'Cause I know Jared's
it's
gone.
Taz, Tony.
I love Taz though.
It's Taz, Tony, and Excrement.
Yeah. Excalibur.
Excrement. Well, that's all right. I know what you meant when you said excrement.
You know him as Excrement from the Jim Cornette Experience.
Yes.
And the Corny Drive.
I think everyone's being a little hard on my guy. Being a little hard on my guy from PWG.
Yeah.
He likes it that way.
Yeah, but it's like Jesse. Again, he just has such.
No. Here's the thing. I don't blame people who don't like to hear him call matches. It's an acquired taste.
It is.
It's just like when people were when Joey Styles originally was on WWE TV, and one of the reasons he used to take flack was because half the audience actually would fucking bitch about it.
Yeah.
But it's an acquired taste because those two guys like to call the match as a wrestling match with an entertainment style.
Which is,
Excalibur does it in a weird way. Now, a lot of people could get behind Joey.
It's not even what he says. It's just, and again, to quote Brian Last, it's a weird cadence.
Yeah.
It's a strange.
But like I tell people, he's been doing it for like 7 years. So it's hard. I bet it's hard for him to change that.
And I agree.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I am actually a fan of the way Excalibur calls a wrestling match.
Because like when I watch Dark, I love the way he calls the match. Because he just calls it straight down the thing. He'll throw in some entertaining.
But what's clear is he shouldn't be in the same booth as Jim and Tony.
Absolutely not.
No.
That's clear as day.
Absolutely not. But Taz is actually quite fun.
Oh, Taz is great.
Taz is great.
And by the way,
yes.
once again, call back to the photo of Taz applauding Hook down the ring.
That was so
the ring
beautiful.
ramp. That was so great to see.
That was so beautiful.
Now, I also want to point something out because visually, for me, going back to the live visual experience, I'm sorry, I am not for ramps in wrestling. I'm not.
I'm kind of over them.
It doesn't make any sense.
It looks weird.
It looks weird.
It does.
You throw someone out there, you know there's going to be a spot. What I like is if you throw someone out of a WWE ring on that same side, the heel might tease something, might not. You can go to a commercial break there, but it's like once they get on the ramp, you know they're going to jump because they ain't got far to fall.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and then even weirder.
Get rid of the ramp.
Because unfortunately,
Who originally did that? Because I know Hogan and Bischoff brought it to TNA.
It was Vince.
With Vince, well, yeah, but remember, well, no, WCW had it as well.
WCW had it for quite a while.
Yeah,
But I thought Vince did it first. Oh no! You know what?
It was WCW first.
WCW back
Yeah.
in the 80s. Yeah.
Yeah, because in the 80s, Vince did not have that.
Because remember, Jesse, I mean,
That's right. They would just kind of walk the floor.
Yeah.
But Jesse, let's be honest. With all the steroids and cocaine, if Warrior was on a ramp, he was probably going to fall and break his neck.
He was Warrior was on a ramp.
That's fair.
That guy was high.
Yes.
That guy was high. Have you ever watched a match? Have you ever gone back recently, Leroy, and watched a Warrior match and just been
I try to watch them, but every time I blink, they're over.
You just watch it and you're like,
just
damn, why was I so gullible? Like,
Jesse.
I was the age of my children in the other room,
Jesse,
so that's
Jesse,
right.
that's fair to
Jesse,
you. But
it's
I know you
Vince's-
rip on Hogan, but
it's Vince's Jedi mind tricks.
that's
Vince
what I
is a
was.
genius.
I still I tell my kids and anybody now is talking about entrance music. And stuff.
Yeah.
I still get that feeling when I hear the first lines of Hogan's theme music.
Yeah.
It still gets me.
Vince is
It does.
He's the Sith
because I
Lord.
swear. So, quick off the top.
Yeah.
So last night I went on Peacock and I'm like, I'm gonna watch some Warrior matches because Aaron has been hating hard on the Warrior for a long time, and I'm like, he's just not as bad as I think Aaron is saying. And so Aaron was like, well, Jesse, and me and him actually had a very passionate conversation.
Yes.
And I'm like, I'm gonna give it another shot. I'm gonna go in with I'm gonna take my nostalgia out.
Yep.
And I'm just gonna watch.
Yep.
I go back. I gotta be honest with you, this guy was a fucking terrible wrestler. Not only was he a terrible wrestler, I don't know how he entertained you guys because he just came out and he did this shit. Well, guys, I'm like waving my arms like I have a sign of my arms right now.
Oh, yeah.
And like he runs around the ring like a crackhead, and then he gets in. He no-sells a ton of shit. He hits the backsplash. It's over in 5 minutes. And you're like, what the fuck?
Jesse.
Because he burned out all of his energy running to the ring.
Jesse. The
That's
Jedi
what
Master
happened.
that is Vince was able
He
to
made it
give-
work.
He was able to give you just enough to where he only needed Jesse.
But 3 minutes?
Jesse,
That's longer than a lot of my encounters sexually. But like,
Hey, at least he got like 3-4 minutes to cuddle.
but Jesse at the same time, he only needed those 3 minutes to sell you the merch, and then he didn't care.
And trust me, them promos. Have you watched his promos?
oh, they were horrible.
No. See, the promos when he did by himself, I'm surprised Gene held us. But when the promos where there was three
Gene
other
was probably
guys,
so pissed he had to be there.
Right.
but the Survivor Series promos where he had the other guys there, I am shocked that everybody kept a straight face.
Dude,
I don't know how.
really quick. So
Some of those are
he
crazy.
was cutting one because I think he was getting. I was watching the match. I think it was Jake the Snake. What I don't know what the fuck he was talking about for 6 minutes. I'm like, he's just mumbling off garbage.
Yep.
I'm like, so I was watching this and I'm like, man, this is like watching fucking Matt Jackson struggle through a promo. This is hard. This is really hard to watch.
But truly, what was more fun?
But see, Jesse, we've already talked about it. I guarantee you one of the biggest influences on all the elite, including Kenny, was Warrior.
Oh, well, Kenny recently, yeah. Oh my God, because just yelling, but with Kenny, it was breathy, and I think he was trying to be Triple H though.
But
see, that was the problem.
But here's a question: what promos were more fun back in the day? The Ultimate Warrior
Vince
or Macho Man?
Well, see, but Macho was actually fun.
Somehow Macho took the cocaine and actually kept on script.
I don't know what the fuck Warrior was talking about half the time, dude.
I love that stuff.
God.
Like I said,
That's great.
And like I told people after I went back to watch it, I'm like, I'm not trying to hate on Warrior, but when I went back, I was like, man, Aaron, I think has a point here. This is pretty horrible.
But Jesse, remember. Remember, I've said it too many times in this segment, but the Jedi mind tricks of Vince, they are in you. You are conditioned to just take whatever he gives you, and for those short 7 minutes, you bought Warrior merchandise.
There you
for
go.
those 7 minutes.
Vince
You
was
did.
sitting there. Vince was
It
sitting there.
was like me going back to watch the prequels and then me going like, man, I was a stupid kid. Why did I like these movies?
I actually still do, but again,
I like them, but not as much as when I was a kid. Like
So-
watching them as an adult.
Yeah.
And like I said, it was like the same as going back and watching these Warrior matches.
Like,
I'm like,
Vince is just
why did
sitting
I
there.
love This.
You will like these matches. You will be entertained.
It's
you will buy
working.
merchandise. It worked.
it
worked.
It's worked for 50 years.
And now I'm going to bring
Yeah.
it back to the Bucks because this is how they relate to that terribleness.
All right.
How do you come out?
While he's going, do we have more Swiss cake rolls?
No, I'm sorry. That was the rest of them.
Oh, we only had 3 packages. Okay.
Because my fat ass ate the rest
Well,
of
that's
them.
fair.
Yeah.
I should.
I should
What
have bought
you-
another box.
You know what you should have did?
Yeah.
What you should have did was send them to AEW.
Can you grab your off-brand mini
And-
wheats?
And
If you want to grab them,
I'm gonna grab your off-brand mini
Okay,
wheats.
go right ahead.
and because
It's the kitchen.
I
just
would,
love
I
it.
think I would rather watch him right now eat the cereal he's about to eat, than ever.
You want a bowl?
No, I'm good.
Than
Okay.
ever again watch the Young Bucks cut a backstage promo. What the fuck are they doing, Zach? What is this?
It's the Bucks.
Which one are you referring to, just so we're clear?
So, because of course they have the match on Rampage, so they're doing the promotion. They got Bobby sitting there looking like a fucking idiot.
Was it Buck Hogan?
Oh, no.
Oh, it was the other dude.
I can't believe I'm going to say this. Hogan is a masterclass compared to these guys backstage.
What kind? Buck Hogan.
Oh,
That's what Jim Cornette calls one of them. And what does he call the other one?
Pie face.
Pie face. Okay.
Nick is actually quite good.
Okay.
The sad part about it is, if Nick would just somehow grow up and realize that he doesn't need Matt, he might have a half-assed career.
Right, like, for real. Like, Nick is actually quite good. Matt.
That's the one with the black hair, right?
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
What? This guy, he threw in 20 jokes
Yep.
while he was trying to promote a match.
And y'all get mad at Madcap, but at least the gimmick is bad dad jokes.
Well, here's the thing.
And-
The
Hey, wait
gimmick
a
is
minute.
about bad jokes.
Yeah, no.
It-
Yeah, I
it-
know. Dutch Mantel says it was the worst segment he's ever seen. That's fair, but that proves that Dutch isn't watching the Bucks at all because, again, at least Riddick Moss stayed with character.
Hey,
That's all I gotta say.
I like dad jokes.
But they're pretty horrible.
I
They're
know.
bad.
Like
Right.
when
I know they're bad,
They're
but
bad jokes.
when him and Baron Corbin go on the TV, I feel I would rather watch a dog take a shit. Like it's pretty bad. I would rather watch your cat come in here and piss on my shoe.
The sad part
Like,
about
it's
it is
pretty bad.
Once we get through the first part of Happy Talk, which is the bad jokes, the rest of the show is actually fairly entertaining.
yeah.
But it puts such a halt to the show for like 3 minutes.
I agree.
It's pretty bad, but not as bad as a Matt Jackson promo. We had a banger-ass match. By the way, I love how they're like, fuck it, just go out there and wrestle for 60 minutes because we can't put out another really shitty product because our ratings aren't doing good.
Wait.
There we go.
Hold on. They did that with Kenny. They did it with
I know.
guys. You, Tony Khan, are
They
the reason why
literally-
no one gives a shit about Hangman Adam Page.
They literally won't let Daniel like just beat guys.
Yeah,
it's
no.
so weird. It's so
But
weird.
Jesse, remember, because again, he's a mark booker who thinks that just because a guy wins, he's over. A loss can only hurt him.
Not true.
If you've built him properly, a loss does nothing.
Right.
Again, The Rock was Teflon.
Right.
Brock is Teflon, although Brock's not going to lose because it wouldn't make sense for Brock to lose.
I want to remind people, Rock lost a lot when he was champion in his heyday. A lot as a baby.
Oh, you know who else
He
did?
did not have a wonderful track record
No.
on
Wait,
WrestleMania against Stone Cold.
No.
Who else
No.
lost 98% of his matches as champion before he got hurt, but was doing some of the best work of his career and still won on the pay-per-view when the money was on line? Oh, right.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
No. Oh, right. Tyler Black, Seth Rollins.
True.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah.
His first run before he got hurt,
True.
he was a snarky, pissant
Yeah.
that
True.
no one could stand, and he got beat a lot.
He got beat a lot.
But when you finally paid your money, paid for the monthly, when your monthly subscription to the network at the time actually came up, and it was time for the pay-per-view match, he won,
right.
and also showed off he's the most athletic guy in the company.
Right.
And
Because
yeah,
so banger 60-minute match. And of course,
back to the Twinks.
Do we? Okay,
it put
yes.
such a damper in the show. So because they
Oh, by the way, you know what bothers me even more?
Was that before the main event?
No, it was basically.
I'm trying to remember what the fuck the main event was now.
Look it up, Leroy. While I say
Yeah,
while Disney
Dynamite
knows.
results.
But yeah, no, Jesse. But here's the other thing: when Shawn Michaels and John Cena went 60 minutes, they were promoting Randy Orton versus
were.
Edge
they
earlier
were.
in the night
Yep.
because that was a fatal four-way situation they were going into,
Right.
or maybe it was the tag situation.
Something like that.
Yeah, but either way,
something like that.
Jesse, they never told you again. Consistency,
Right.
And people are like, well, okay, you talk about consistency, but now you're mad about this. Well, because this is shit consistency. Consistency. WWE doesn't acknowledge time, so it didn't matter.
Right.
You guys, and by the way, people who are fans are like, God, I hate, them counting down. I'm like, but that's part of having a time limit.
Right. You have to. If you're gonna actually count that, you have to.
So again, I'll give AEW keeping consistency, but Jesse, at least it wasn't promoted that it was going to go 60 minutes.
Right.
John Cena and Shawn just did it.
Right.
Whereas this, and I hate to say it, especially with their booking, once you get to the last half, don't you just kind of know they're going the distance?
Well, once we got 40 minutes in, I'm like, this is clearly going to be a tie.
Yeah.
Like, no one's clearly winning this match.
Yeah. And also doesn't help Paige, in my opinion.
To me, not only does it hurt Paige, it hurts Brian. Because I'm like...
Brian can't put guys away.
He can't put down a champion.
That's the thing.
That's the thing you're showing me.
You're taking the best wrestler in the world and showing that he can beat up a bunch of nobodies, which
Right.
is simple. But then what does he do when he's in there with a legit star? He can't get the job done.
Can't finish him off. And it's one of those weird things because what wasn't this whole thing of building to Hangman Page's eventual title win to build him into a mega baby face?
Yeah.
This doesn't help.
Yeah.
Like, and people want to bring up Big E's championship run so far, and I'm like, bro, the shit with Page is way worse.
Well, not to mention the fact, people got to understand, Big E, because of his character, is not meant to be dominant.
But here's the thing: he got a clean victory over Bobby, then he got a clean victory over Drew, and then he got a clean one. I think that was over Kevin. Like, that's three top guys he got a clean win over to keep his title. I don't know what else you want. It's
Was this the December 1st episode? They had the 60-minute match?
No, this was this week, December 15th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So and so they do the 60-minute, okay, and then they are promoting because I think it was Ty Conti versus on Rampage. I'm forgetting her name. I'm so sorry, lady. I'm sorry. Good wrestler. And they did a promo. Not Britt Baker. Son of a bitch. Penelope Ford.
Yes. Yes, your favorite.
No, your favorite.
She ain't mine.
Pissed up. Oh, what? Oh, sorry.
Your main event was MJF versus Dante Martin.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
Banger main event.
The finals for the Diamond Ring.
Banger main event.
Yeah.
But so they do the video package for that. Okay, there was a match. There was a tag match, and then right after is the Bucks, Adam Cole, and Bobby backstage cutting a promo.
Mm-hmm.
I swear to God, Matt Jackson is the worst. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. I swear to my future fortune, Matt Jackson is one of the worst promos I've ever seen. Because if you're going to do the snarky heel promo and you're going to throw in the jokes and all that,
Yeah.
can you make it flow? It's
No.
he cuts a promo about how the baby faces are crap and they're going to beat him. And then he cuts the worst jokes for like 20 He cuts the worst jokes for like 27 seconds.
I'm afraid. What did you find?
Right.
Go ahead and finish what you're saying.
Okay.
And then you got Adam Cole to finish it off, but I can't even let Adam like make me feel good about the promo because you just let Matt Jackson speak for 2 minutes, which was a mistake. Like it by the way, they lost on Rampage. They lost. Bobby got pinned again.
Yep. So, to continue with our friends at all Spot Monkey Wrestling. Jesse, I looked up the rankings as of the conclusion of Rampage.
Okay.
Now, the way they do their rankings, the top people are clearly the champions.
Correct.
Adam Page and Sammy Guevara respectively at 13-1-1 and 10-1. Here is your top 5 AEW rankings as we sit. Bryan Danielson, not even been there a year, at 13-0-2.
Oh, he's so wonderful.
Number 2.
Mm-hmm.
I want to repeat this. Number 2, and yes, it probably is the dump that we're going to take later, is still Kenny Omega at 8-2-1.
Oh, I flushed it like a couple hours
He's
ago.
literally going to be gone until like May.
Number 3
That's insane.
is your boy Scorpio Sky at 12-1.
You're shitting me.
No, guess who number 4 is at 16-3?
Is it Orange Cassidy?
No, it's Jungle Boy.
Wow.
Guess who number 5 is at 14-2?
Orange Cassidy.
No, it's Wardlow.
You're kidding me.
Wardlow is the official 5th ranked competitor in in the men's division. We're about to get to the women's division that's about to piss you off even more.
Oh,
Now,
well, we know who's number one.
it's Doc. Oh, hold on. No, we know.
Why would
Britt Baker's number one because she's the champ. No,
Right.
Yeah.
hold on. Okay, hold on, boys.
Behind that,
No,
I mean,
okay.
Or am I
boys.
wrong?
Okay, boys. Who is the number one ranked as of December 17th in all Elite Wrestling in the women's division?
Abaddon?
Leroy, you said you knew.
well, I thought it. Well, maybe
No,
Soho
it's Riho.
is Reed.
Oh, that's
fuck.
right.
At 14-2. Your boy.
shit.
First of all, your boy Ruby's down there at 7-1. But what pisses me off is these rankings must be done by the old BCS computers because number two
Yeah, probably.
at 20-0
Yeah,
is Jade Cargill,
that's insane.
and she's nowhere near the world title picture.
No.
Number 3, who's had a hell of a year at 32-3, is Thunder Rosa, who sadly is better than Riho. Sorry, she is.
She's the best woman they have.
And
Number
she's not getting
4
a title shot either.
Number 4 is Nyla Rose with a mark of 25-5.
Should be your world champion, to be honest.
Yes. Anybody want to get to the tag team rankings?
No.
Yeah, because I want to laugh.
Okay.
15-1, your number one team, obviously the champs,
Yep,
champs,
of course.
the Lucha Brothers.
Lucha Bros.
Number 2.
Your number one ranked tag team,
Seattle Miedo.
Jesse. It's your boys, the Jurassic Express at 13-3.
How fucking laughable is that?
Very.
Number 2 at 21-5. I didn't even know they've had 26 matches all year.
Oh, wait.
The Young Sucks?
No.
No.
No, who?
Brian and fucking Garrison, right?
Nope.
Oh.
Nope, they're not even in the top 5.
FTR?
Nope. At 21-5,
All right.
your boys, yo, the Acclaimed at number 2.
What?
Only because Tony's out there every week. Anyway,
I
to make
guess
sure that the
so.
rap doesn't, break the
Not even
censors.
commenting.
Number 3 at 11-2 are the former champs, the Young Bucks. At number 3. That's why
11.
Top 5.
number 4 at 16-3 is Santana and Ortiz, who are apparently no longer going as Pride and Powerful. They're just Santana and Ortiz. They're at 16-3.
That just got number 5. I'm depressed now. Go ahead,
Number 5 is FTR at 15-4.
But they're getting the title shot.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, the number 5 ranked team.
Wait a minute.
The rankings do not matter. And wait
The
a minute.
rankings don't seem to actually make a lot of sense.
They don't matter in the tag division, and we know why.
Yeah.
I thought they said they do.
I want to understand. I almost want to go to my boys from the Bronx
Yeah.
and just ask.
I'm sorry, but if I'm a voter, 16-3 is more impressive than 11-2. I don't give a damn what you've done.
Yeah.
But anyway.
If they're never going to give you an actual title match, why the fuck would you stick around? Now, unlike like I said, FTR's complaint I half got, but on the other side, I was like, you are multiple tag team champions. So, yeah, I get you're mad at the comedy bit, but guess what? When you're not champions and you want to stay on TV, you might have to do some stupid comedy shit in WWE. That's just kind of how they work.
They still let you wrestle during the pay-per-views.
Bro,
Is the money that good?
Sami Zayn did comedy bullshit, but also matches. And now is in the main event picture with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. Sometimes you got to do some bullshit in WWE.
But to be fair, Sammy knew he was doing comedy stuff in PWG and ROH. The Bucks always thought their shit was main event. That's the problem.
How the fuck?
And how is Ruby Soho number 5 when the other women combined have an average of over 16 matches? Some of these women have wrestled 30 times this year.
No. That's not what's
How many losses?
Dude, that's not what's egregious in the women's. I gotta back up the mic. That's not what's egregious. Riho's gonna be champion again, and Jade Cargill hasn't lost a damn match. That's egregious.
Jade Cargill is also 20. Oh, by the way, That's just this year. Jade Cargill overall in her career
Like
in
32-0.
21-0.
Insane.
Yeah. Riho, by the way, Riho has lost. Oh my God. Riho has lost 10 matches. Riho's only wrestled 38 times.
Yeah.
Thunder Rosa is 42-6.
Hikaru Shida, I think, technically has, besides
Nyla
Cargill,
Rose has the
best.
most losses of all
Yeah.
these women at 21 losses.
Wow.
How do you have the technical Big Show of your women's division? People used to bitch about the Big Show's booking.
Yeah.
How do you have the technical? And I'm not saying that because.
And by the way,
she's
folks,
such a large
this
woman,
all
but-
goes back to the bad promos of the Bucks because this is their doing because this is how they've set this up. They are officially the third-ranked team, but the title shot is going to the fifth-ranked team, and Jurassic Express is the number one ranked team for maybe the 50th time that
and
was
they
spoken
said-
on this show,
and-
and they've never really been in the title.
Go ahead, Leroy.
And didn't they state that the rankings matter?
We are
that they
so
will
far past
matter?
that. I don't even know how to talk to Tony Khan about it anymore.
I know
Hey,
because we haven't heard them say that for
Right,
so
right,
long.
right,
Maybe
right.
that's because they
Right.
just threw it out the window.
Hey, by the way, so much for fucking Jungle Boy being this main event guy. So much for that shit.
He can't even get a tag title.
Oh
shot.
man, I didn't think I was gonna be right about that shit. I was super right about that shit. I'm like, yep, back to the fucking tag division you go, boy. I'm glad you got the good looks. I'm glad you got Anna Jay because that's your consolation prize in the AEW, son.
He's also the
That's
fourth
not too
ranked
bad.
overall.
Oh, he's not getting another title shot.
He's the fourth
No.
ranked overall men's competitor.
Do you want to put a bet that he gets another title shot next year?
Fuck that.
No,
He'll be in and out the top 5.
Jesse, the third ranked guy, Scorpio Sky's not even in the world title picture. He's the third ranked overall competitor.
And then the other guy that they have in the top fucking 2 is going to be gone until like April or May.
Which again, I'm not saying this solely for his performances. I'm saying he should be gone as long as it takes to get healthy. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you shouldn't even be in because you can't wrestle. So if you can't physically be there, why are you ranked?
Also, it's crazy.
Um,
Brian Danielson,
and he's going to get a
actually-
title shot
Brian
too.
Danielson
when he comes
actually
back.
has a
Probably.
better
Yeah.
overall record than Hangman.
Actually, pause for a second. You want to know what's going to be worse about this, Leroy?
Well,
I'm going to tell you what's going to be worse about.
he's
going to
he's going to come back and get a title shot.
He's going to come back as a baby face and get a title shot.
Yeah.
Seriously, mark my words. December 19th at fucking 5:25 Central American Time.
Got it?
He's going to be
2 hours in a minute.
2 hours and a minute in on the podcast.
Okay.
He's going to come back as a baby face to get the title shot. Mark my words. And it's going to be dumb. Dumb.
What's going to bother me is I'm actually seeing the writing on the wall with these rankings. Put some money on, and again, I'm just saying,
All right.
put some money on. They're going to give Brian the belt. I'm not saying at this next pay-per-view, but they're going to give Brian the belt against Paige at some point, and then they're going to have Brian just be a bitchy champion for like all that time, and then Kenny's going to save everyone.
Oh, no, I disagree. It's going to be Adam Cole. Adam Cole's going to win at the bigger pay-per-view coming up, I think, in February.
Okay.
He's going to win the title because that's the big thing to now build back to Kenny coming back and challenging for that thing when he comes back as a babyface to help out Adam Page in the Dark Order, which makes no fucking sense
I agree.
Why is Adam Cole going to get a title shot?
because he's
What
going
the
to
hell
become
did
their
he
biggest
do?
heel
Because Adam Cole is the only person.
and probably the only draw.
Yeah.
Which is also why, as great and as hot as MJF is, I'm telling you now. I try to tell people because they're like, he's AEW through and through.
No, he's
I'm like, when he
not.
goes through 2023 and realizes he still hasn't gotten a fucking title match,
Yeah.
he's gonna start thinking about that Vince call a lot more.
Because as far as I'm concerned, MJF needs to. Well, and Jesse,
By the way, MJF, you can thank Mox because if Mox doesn't say yes, I want to fight this kid in the main event, I don't even think you get that title shot.
yeah,
He's
but people,
not. MJF has not got a title shot for anything, has he?
He has. last year during the pandemic year, he had the feud with Jon Moxley.
Yeah, he did.
And that was all because Jon Moxley was like, it's probably time to go ahead and push this kid.
But what's going to end up
But
happening,
that's all that
Jesse,
happened?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, yeah, by the way, Mox beat him clean.
Yeah.
By the way, Jesse, what's going to end up happening is he's going to go to Tony, and Tony's going to have to, once again, stop creating an image if it's going to fuck you. He's going to stick to his image about wrestler friendly, and he's going to let him walk away from the contract, and then he's going to call Vince.
Yep.
Because like you said, you guys are hiding this guy. For what? He has been consistently the only thing that people have talked about or cared about in the 3.5 to almost 4 years this company has existed.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
This guy has faced everyone that you've tried to say was an EVP.
Right.
He's faced everyone that you've tried to convince me was a main event talent.
Right.
He's the only constant you have in the main event scene. The only people he hasn't interacted with are the elite, and that's because they realize we can't keep up with this kid.
No, they couldn't.
Also, again, Wardlow at number 5, that's a lackey. A lackey is in your top 5.
Well,
Can I see the rankings of literally everybody so that I can find a record? Because clearly no one gives a shit about win percentage. Can I find a record that's better than 14-2 possibly to put someone else at 5? Because you got a lackey at 5. And what's the lackey going to do? He's going to go to MJF and say, I'm the 5th ranked wrestler in AEW. MJF don't give a shit about no rankings.
CM Punk is undefeated.
Yeah.
they're going to give him a title shot.
Oh, no, he's going to get his.
He'll get his.
Oh, he's going to get his.
He's going to get his.
Leroy, I would never tell you to place a bet on him not doing that. You want to know why? Because I would place a bet and I would make you shave the beard. And I don't want you to shave the beard. And I'm just telling you right now, man to man.
I'm never going to shave my beard.
As much as I respect you, big brother,
Somebody,
he's going to get his.
anybody want to send out I mean, I've got the whole roster here. Anybody?
Phillip Brooks can talk as much shit as he wants, but he's this generation's Hulk Hogan. He's going to get his.
Anybody care to know anyone else's record right now? Because I've got everybody.
I don't know. I'm kind of depressed.
CM Punk is 8-0.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's undefeated. And he's probably going to beat MJF. So that's another fucking problem that they've created because he's already now stated that.
Colton Gunn has a career record of 36-1.
Yeah, he's by the way, though, mostly jobbers.
By the way,
His dad is undefeated.
did you know that Daniel Garcia is actually below 500?
Yeah. But to be in that case, though, that one though they are building him.
Darby's 51-17.
At this juncture, he might only last another 2 years.
Your boy Eddie's 35-13. I feel like that's probably better than the 14-2 right now going on.
Let me make something clear to you.
Ethan Page is 22-5.
Let me make something very, very clear to you and everybody else. Eddie Kingston is never getting another title shot.
I agree.
It's not going to happen.
Fuego del Sol has the worst record of anyone.
He's only won 5 matches.
He's 7.
Oh my God! I missed it by 2. Oh no!
His official record looks like the Vikings versus New York. It's 49-6. It's 7-49.
Yeah, dude, it's bad. It's really
Oh
bad.
my God. Okay, never mind. Jack Evans is worse. 18-43. Jack Evans can't buy a win right now.
Him and Helico are interesting cases right now because their contracts do come up, I believe, in
Your
May.
boy, the bad boy, has a winning record this year.
Oh, I thought I was going to tell you that he actually has a winning record this year.
16-8
Yep.
on the year.
Yeah, Joey Janela.
Jungle Boy actually so far has the most wins of anyone I've found.
Yeah,
He's at 68 wins
Mm-hmm.
total. Your boy Kip Sabian actually has an amazing win-loss record. It's fucking hilarious.
it's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
And they don't even use him anymore.
Big Shotty actually has a losing winning percentage. Big Shotty, based on these results in 2021. By the way, I love that we're subject to change. This is the best segment that we've had.
I know, right?
Okay, so Big Shotty Lee Johnson in 2021
Yeah.
has an overall record of 23-14.
I took.
Take a guess, Jesse. Guess what? If you take away the 23 wins of this year, his career record is 23-39. So all of his wins have come this year. He lost the first 15 matches he had in AEW.
That's how they build the young guys from the Nightmare Factory.
Lee Moriarty has a 3-7 record. Leo Rush is 3-0.
Yeah.
Luchasaurus is 57-22.
Dante Martin has a winning record as well.
Yes. I don't even know why Mark Henry has a win-loss record on this, but okay. Marco Stunt is 18-29. The fact that he has 18 victories.
That's disgusting.
Ugh.
It's like midget porn. That's just disgusting.
That's painful. Okay. Matt.
I'm not going to have a comment for that one.
Matt Jackson, career record in AEW is 49-21.
This man has Peyton Manning's record as a Denver Broncos quarterback. That's insane. That should piss you off if you're a wrestling fan.
Yes.
Michael, knock it the fuck off our television.
Michael not going to work in AEW soon.
Apparently he's 6-18.
He's got a terrible record.
He does.
But they've made him look like a terrible fucking wrestler as well, so it's not that different.
Malachi Black is 7-2.
Yep. Will never get ranked. But to be fair to him, he actually just wants to do storylines, so
I want to check something out here. Back to Matt for a second here. So I said Matt Jackson was 49-21, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So 49-21. Nick Jackson is 48-21. So
I'm guessing that also counts for tag team matches.
they're counting singles, tag team, and trios.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Orange Cassidy is 53-16-2.
Oh, I'm sorry, can you say that again?
53-16-2.
And he's not getting a shot? No.
Fuck!
That sounds about right.
53-16-2. On the year, he's 38-7-1. How's that not better than 14-2?
How has he not gotten another title shot?
Because even they know he's a joke.
No.
You're probably right.
The Bastard is 30. I can't even believe I'm saying this because he's wrestled so little. He's 30-15-2.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually lost 15 singles matches. 15 total matches.
Yep.
The Big Show, No More BS Paul White is 3-0. Penta El Cerro Miero is 55-25.
Yeah, he has an amazing record in AEW.
Powerhouse Hobbs has a pretty good record. This is what pisses me off too. Preston, Preston
10
Vance of the Dark Order, 10.
Yeah.
He's 44-16.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you guys, that are obviously all on Dark a lot. Pretty boy Peter Avalon, boy, he went there and just got shit on. He's 8-42-2.
I want you to go find.
Damn.
I want you to go find the Young Bucks, Camera Boys record really quick. Brandon gonna be playing D&D on fucking Twitch soon, Cutler.
I don't even think he was in the B section. Let me go back up here.
He started.
He's not? He should be.
Your boy Chuck Taylor's 50-28.
Shut up.
The Kentucky gentleman of the Best Friends is 50-28.
Dude, please leave.
Could you not plead to him any harder?
Like, please, just.
It ain't gonna work.
Brian Pillman Jr., 34. God, this is embarrassing. You talk about here. Okay, a pillar of AEW. They put him on a shirt. Is 34-23.
Mm-hmm.
That's an embarrassing record for a pillar.
Yeah.
Brian Cage is actually 41-11.
Yep.
Wow.
Brandon Cutler.
Oh boy.
Overall on the year, he's 2-10.
Yeah.
So he's basically the Lions, which is funny because he's wearing blue in this thing.
Right.
9-35-2.
I told you it's horrible.
Damn.
And they brought this man out of retirement for 9-35-2.
Man, you started that shop back in Rancho Cuca. No one really wants to fucking live here in California.
Yeah.
And you just been a loser, buddy. Good job, man. Good
All
stuff.
Right. QT Marshall is 38-26. Ricky Starks, 36-8.
Yep. But this actually comes with a big asterisk.
Yeah.
The neck injury has just been a worry.
Your boy Scorpio, 51-16.
He has an excellent record. You want to know why I know he has an excellent record?
I
'Cause
forgot-
He talks about it on his podcast all
I
the
forgot
time.
that Serpentico was even still here. 12-55.
Oh, he's a jobber.
Captain Sean Dean, once again pushing young talent that is minority. 3-40.
Yeah, no. That guy's going to be in NXT.
The chairman,
Oh, no.
40-17.
That made me soft.
Wow. To all those lovely AEW
I
fans,
love how they do their rankings because it doesn't make any sense. Because here's the deal.
rankings matter. No, they don't.
No. Okay, so his overall record this year is 17-4, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then they give you the singles record, the tag team record, and the trios record. His single, do the math for me, boys. His singles is 3-3.
Okay.
His tag team is 9-0. His
Hmm.
trios is 2-0. Does that equal 17-4?
No.
No.
What are these What are these rankings? Sonny Kiss has been absolutely shat on.
Who is doing these where are these rankings from?
They just update him week to week.
Yeah, they do. Stu Grayson is 51-16.
So the people that work for Tony are doing these rankings. They need to go back and learn math.
No, hold on. They have it right.
Oh, it's worse than that.
They have it right for Tony Nese. He's 5-1, and it matches everything.
Oh, okay.
Trent.
I would hope so. He just got there.
Yeah, Trent question mark.
So there's
Beretta.
not much they can
No,
do
I'm
it
not
on one
joking. It's
hand.
literally
I
Trent
know.
question mark Beretta.
I know.
Sadly, they haven't updated his picture. He's 33-21. We're just happy to see him back. Do you want to go to the women's roster now, just for the hell of it?
Boy.
See, this is funny
Go
because
ahead. Go ahead.
because WWE doesn't have this.
But here's the thing. Those fucking idiots tried it in 2017. Do you remember the Raw and SmackDown top 10?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
dropped that after about 3 weeks. No one cared.
After 3 months, when Brandy Orton started making a fucking joke of it, they were like,
Yeah.
okay, we got to stop.
Your girl.
You can look up the total records of
Living
people anyways,
Living
but
Dead girl Abaddon, 25-3,
She has an excellent record.
yeah.
and she's not anywhere near the title.
She's only.
No.
You want to know who she's only lost to?
Real?
Britt Baker because of interference.
Yeah,
Yes.
And
okay,
Hikaru Shida when she was champion
Yep.
twice. That's it.
Yep. The
Yeah.
Bunny is actually 500 on the year,
Yeah.
but she has a 26-18 overall record.
Stop for a second. That's egregious. You have Allie in your women's division.
People don't realize how good she
Allie
actually
is
Yeah.
excellent.
Yes. You know, it's sad because she has that girl next door look. She's been pigeonholed into being just this side character, which is so sad because she can go.
I don't know why she left Scott D'Amore. I don't know if something happened in Impact. She got to go back because I don't know what this
For how
is.
much they talk about her, Anna Jay's record is abysmal.
Well, you got to remember though.
She's 17-10.
But if you're talking about because she
Wow.
started off losing her first 8 matches though.
Sorry, I just dropped the phone because Brandy's on here.
Oh no.
Well, she is a wrestler,
Oh no.
according
Jesse?
to them.
She's undefeated, isn't she?
No, she's 12-3.
12-3.
She's 12-3.
You know what? Can you go tell your kids that instead of using a tape to tape presents, that they can just go ahead and just tape my head shut and then squeeze until my brain juices come out?
Well, now we have the lovely Miss Dr. DMD is 38-18. Now we get into two, I believe, Japanese wrestlers here for you, Jesse. I have Emi Sakura and Hikaru Shida. Hikaru we know has a great record, although they've done dick for her.
Before he even goes into that, she's going back.
Yes,
to Japan.
you mentioned that last
Yeah,
week. Yeah,
that's what I
Emi
heard. Yeah.
Sakura is only 18-14.
Then again, though, that also counts that tournament, and then the other couple matches which she actually taped for them in Japan.
Jade
so.
Cargill is 21-0
I can't fucking believe that.
in AEW. She's 21-0 in AEW.
She's the big star they wanted her to be.
Oh, I love how Jamie Hayter's supposed to be one of those up and coming with the DMD. Yeah, she's 6-10.
No, she has a horrible record. All she's done is lose when she's just been there.
I forgot they had a librarian gimmick. That's funny.
Yeah,
oh my God, Leva Bates!
Yeah, I've seen her a couple
5
times.
and 9.
Yeah,
I didn't even realize she was still on the roster.
I've seen a couple on
How is
on
this
Dark
girl
that I've
not
watched
bigger?
a couple times.
Layla Hirsch
Mm-hmm.
is 24 and 10. They must like her on Dark.
No.
Yeah,
She hasn't been seen.
Penelope Ford's win-loss record is a joke. No. She's good.
Pit stop.
Penelope Pitstop, the bad girl, still going by that nickname, even though she's not dating Joey anymore. She's 31 and 16,
Holy shit!
Hold on, my heart stopped.
which is not good for a big man.
We don't want to lose Jesse. All right.
What?
She on the year she's 17 and 7.
Good old pit stop. All right.
She's 31 and 16 overall.
I thought only Vince liked blondes.
Well,
Who knew?
Apparently, okay. Once again, you put two women who are absolute useless in the ring
somebody's got to
with
win.
the champion. Rebel's record is 1 and 9. Rebel has one victory in a tag match this year.
Damn.
Red Velvet is 36 and 19. Red Velvet is 36 and 19, and you will do dick with her.
People forgot.
I do like red velvet cake.
She was on a Dynamite tear. She actually won like 18 matches straight.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Riho's own.
Wow.
Okay, Riho again is your number 1 ranked female. She's
Yeah.
17 and 4 on the year. She's 28 and 10. That's your number 1 ranked female right now.
I'm not going to put the one that's
And
undefeated.
Nyla Rose is down at 4 at 54 and 21.
I don't-
However, sadly enough, this is Jesse. I just realized this is how bad her booking is. So I said 54 and 21, right? 14 of her 21 losses have been in 2021 alone.
Yep.
Yep.
She's lost 14 times this year. Penelope Ford has only been in 24 matches.
Well, to be fair to Penelope Ford, at least she's been in 24 matches. Kip has probably been in 2.
Ty Conti, 47 and 9.
Kip Sabian's out there fucking playing the homeless guy because they haven't even used him.
I'm surprised Darren hasn't sued over copyright yet.
You should.
Serena Deeb,
I think
12
you should,
and 4.
yeah.
That's my girl right there. Man, I love Serena.
Oh,
Deeb.
Yuka, the magical girl.
Hey!
Yuka Sakazaki, 7 and 5.
I like Yuka.
She's 6 and 1 on the year.
She went back to Stardom though.
Yeah, and that's
That's
it.
good.
She's the last one on the roster. But those are some of your official AEW. Oh, by the way, as we said, Thunder Rosa, 42 and 6.
He depressed me. Why you have to tell me Brandy's record like?
Brandy's record is.
Don't you say it again.
Hey, shush.
You want to know the sad part?
No, we don't.
I gotta do it. So
Oh, my God.
Brandy has.
He wants me to die on air.
Yeah, probably.
Are you gonna,
Brandy.
are you gonna slap
Brandy
him?
has less career losses than Chris Statlander has in this calendar year.
How? I can't wrap my brain around that right now. Chris
Statlander has lost 5 times on the year.
I'm gonna
Brandy's lost 3
invite
times
you.
total.
I'm gonna invite your kids in here to try to pick up the TV and just beat me in the skull with it in a minute.
No, I like my TV.
Because that's depressing.
It is. Well, we need to move on to talk about something that's not quite.
Merry Christmas to me, thanks, Zach.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
I should be happy for a black woman, not this one.
Jesse,
She's 12 and 3.
12 and 3.
Yeah.
She's not even a better wrestler than Stephanie was. And Stephanie was a terrible wrestler.
Yeah.
She has a good
Stephanie
record.
was a champion.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, again, like I said last week on your rant on Brandy, she'll be your women's champion by year end. Anyway,
I hope you're wrong on
now Jesse.
There are dark days ahead in pro
that.
wrestling.
Yes, there is.
Jesse actually laid this out last week for us to be surprised. Jesse, we have a topic on here. Is Brock Lesnar the best in wrestling? You said that your answer would surprise the viewers and us. Would you like to start this, or can I lead us in?
I'm going to start it.
You want to start it? Okay.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. This is strange coming out of my mouth.
Would you have said this 10 years ago?
Last year, I wouldn't have said this.
True.
Okay.
Last year I'd have been like, oh no, I need Brock to go away.
Yeah.
Because Brock ruins my main event picture, and I need Brock to get the fuck off my TV.
To be fair, I think Brock's been pigeonholed, sadly, due to the fact that Vince didn't like his main event scene for a couple years, and Brock was just a safe bet.
Because, he's an event guy.
Yeah.
But now that he's
an
used,
attraction.
he's an attraction. So now that he's been used like he used to get used, because he doesn't, it's just like Roman, he doesn't have to matches.
And oddly enough, Brock talking is getting better. I don't know
Well,
why.
Brock was never a bad promo.
He just didn't want to talk.
It was just when he did talk, he was bound to say something funny, but it probably wasn't supposed to be funny.
Right.
And you were like, bro, you're supposed to be like this big jack serious dude. Like you're fucking up this whole thing. You're fucking up your whole kayfabe, son.
Brock, you know what? To quote what was said about, I think Stone Cold said it to him. To quote what was said to the wonderful man Ron Simmons. That's the only man that could wear a blue helmet and nobody make fun of him.
Right.
That's the only man in the world that can wear overalls, and ain't nobody gonna tell Brock that looks stupid.
He looks scarier.
Yeah, he does.
He does.
Like
Hey,
a
you
fucking
know,
murderous farmer.
It's kind of serial killer.
It's kind of really scary.
Here's the fun part on Twitter here, on our account here. WWE and BT Sport, they put out a question. Which version of Brock Lesnar is your favorite? A, the next big thing. B, prize fighter. C, Suplex City, or D, Brock right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Brock is the best.
I'm gonna
now
have
is the best
I'm
ever.
gonna
Yeah.
have to.
Brock is the best. But again,
for us,
this topic needs to be put into context for people.
So-
who is the best wrestler? And again, folks, AEW needs to stick it. This matters. Who has the best overall presentation along with their dominance in the ring? He is. But remember, folks, he is also the most consistent thing.
Well, it was just like when AEW fans, because he was a free agent for a short time, were like, he should come to AEW. I'm like, what? So he can squash your entire roster, make $10 million, and fucking leave?
Here's the deal: $10 million for Brock isn't even enough for him to job to half that roster. Brock is not going to sully himself to fly his private jet all the way from Saskatchewan to job for some idiot. It's not happening. Brock's going to come in and say, I'm either the guy or I work with whoever I want.
Well, so I saw one of the most egregious things I've ever seen, and that was people asking, how bad has AJ's run been in WWE? Which is stupid.
Multiple-time world champion, intercontinental title, the United States title.
When somebody
multiple-time
said
tag team
rate his WWE
champion.
career so far,
It's a 10 out of 10.
it's awesome.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Yep.
He's only been there 6 yeyears.
Yeah.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
That's the run they've given him because he's
And he might not
phenomenal.
make it to 10 years because his contract might be up in that 9th year.
Oh, when
Yeah.
and I think he's very serious. When that contract runs up, he's retiring.
He's
got kids.
He's
like,
family friends
right,
with Mark
right,
Calloway of
right,
The Undertaker.
right.
He sees what Mark goes through
Right.
on the daily. And
And
AJ's sitting here like, I can still bounce. I can still twist.
And that's what
I'm
he
fine.
was saying. That
Yeah.
thought
Yeah.
scares him to not be able to kind of walk and be with his kids.
Yeah.
And what the tag team stuff with Omos allows him to do is actually rest most of the time.
Can we also once again give credit to the lovely wife of The Undertaker, Michelle McCool, for telling him to call AJ back? Because, again, through all the cinematic pandemic stuff that we got from every company, Impact, AEW, anything.
Right.
Even the Sting Darby thing, which was not bad.
No, it wasn't bad.
No, it was all right. Yeah, I enjoyed
The
it.
first one, the Boneyard match,
That was awesome.
it's still the best.
It was.
It's still great.
That's just because that swamp match went to a weird place.
Yeah, the swamp thing was a
that
little
did.
That was a weird.
It was going so well, and then it got really odd.
It got, but anyway, no, Brock.
Well, I don't know. The Firefly Funhouse was fucking excellent to me because it covered so much of John's career. And
That's
the
fair.
relationship.
Yes, that was very weird,
and that's fair.
too.
But I mean, like, it for some reason it was the best combination of cinematic and physicality
Yeah.
Yes.
that we
yeah.
got. But anyway, back to this. No, Brock to me is in the conversation for best because What do you want? Consistency in a wrestler. They win, because I don't care about wins, but apparently the rest of the internet does, which is weird when you look at the AEW rankings.
Right.
Hey, you know what? There was a nice transition there.
There we go. There we go.
And number 3. So again, in ring. Are they good? Good in the ring,
right.
Presentation,
right.
and do they win? Even though
right.
I don't care about the third one. Brock's all 3 in spades.
Yeah.
Because again, Brock is presented as A, a badass, B, a prize fighter,
right.
and C, physically more dominant than even people bigger than him.
I can also count on one hand how many times he's lost in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
That's how rare he loses.
And what bothers me is that if he had gone to AEW, he'd have more losses, and it wouldn't make any sense. It takes away from the aura that is Brock Lesnar.
Brock is the best to me he's ever been, and the best in pro wrestling right now.
He also seems to be enjoying it more than he's ever enjoyed it.
Because that period. When more so than even Randy, when Brock is enjoying himself, you enjoy him, and then you actually really enjoy WWE.
I also think Brock is the type of guy, and again, I've never met him. I wouldn't know this to be sure. He seems like a guy that if you don't crowd him,
right,
he might eventually just warm up.
Right.
And so it's like, if he comes in the locker room, don't sit there and be like, oh my God, that's Brock Lesnar.
Right.
Just kind of be like, sir, how are you? Type of deal.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And so, as people know,
he doesn't. Now, when Brock threw the belt at Vince, which we all know has kind of been confirmed, Brock was frustrated. It was a big moment, blah, blah, blah. But Brock knows where his bread is buttered.
Right,
Brock is not stupid. And Brock is the type of guy that's going to sit there and say, okay, I've been pretty much in the major leagues my entire career.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Why, after 20 years at the top, baseball analogy,
right.
why would I spend 20 years in the show? And then unless I have money problems, why would I sign a developmental AAA deal to try to get back to the bigs?
Right.
Brock's been to the mountaintop. Why would he stand on an anthill? No offense, AEW, but you're an anthill compared to where Brock's been.
Piss at was the word Paul Levesque used.
But it's just one of those things where it's like Brock Lesnar, the way he's been presented, has matched what he actually is. The problem with the Bucks is they present themselves as badass, and we're like, no one believes this. No one actually wants to believe this.
Maybe the 20-year-olds who have never drank a real beer before or something.
You mean the 500,000 people who they bring over? Because I'm not even giving them the 800,000 anymore, because most of that audience is watching Bryan and Punk now. They're not watching the Bucks.
By the way, these are jokes I'm making about the fans who like the Bucks. Halfly. So here's the thing when it goes to Brock.
Yeah.
I'm a King Switch guy.
You are.
I will New Japan. If I could, I would New Japan stand every time I was on the show, guys. I don't do that because it's not fair.
That's fair.
Because we would talk about something and I could just be like, but to be New Japan, and it would just get annoying.
Yeah.
And so I try not to do that.
Boy, I can't wait for Wrestle Kingdom.
Brock Lesnar has been
coming up soon.
Oh, you have no idea. You're about to see a guy. You're about to see what it looks like when I really just enjoy pro wrestling for 7 hours.
I just have to download the
app. Yep, because I got the login. We're good
on the Fire Stick.
Yep,
yeah.
Yep.
Okay, all right, sweet.
Yeah, we're gonna have a great day.
Oh, it's gonna be a good day.
We're gonna die because we're not gonna sleep very well. But
no,
it's gonna be a great 2 days.
I've got the time off.
I'm good to go.
Basically, folks, I'm going to be living with Jesse for those 2 days because there's no point for Jesse to go all the way back out to his home and then come all the way back at 2 in the morning.
Sleep on the floor, eat some pizza, and get ready to do it again the next night.
And
if be at Uncle Louie's for 2 straight days, we're going to need some real fuel at 9 o'clock in the morning. Basically, what's going to happen is we're going to watch the show till about Jesse. Now, quick question: is each night 4 hours or is it about 2 hours show?
It's going to be about 3 hours.
3 hours each night. So about 5 o'clock we're going to go to bed.
Right.
We're going to wake up around 9 after 4 hours. Yes, I said after 4 hours. We're going to go get something to eat, come back, and then go back to bed till 5 p.m. That's pretty much how the schedule's going to work out.
And if they do die, I am accepting applications at subject to change at yahoo.com, or you can tweet us.
At 13 underscore
Cardinals,
cards.
and do that. So I'll take your, if
Please
they do
include
die.
your LinkedIn resume.
Yeah,
If it's better than what Jesse's been sending to WWE, you might get the
You
job.
probably will get the job.
and you don't have to send a photo because I really don't care what you look like. Because if you've seen you've seen these guys, it doesn't matter.
He sits in front of us all day.
I know, so
But
it
anyway,
don't
no,
matter.
Jesse, back to your
But-
thing.
You know, I'm a King Switch guy because I'm just like the overall package.
To
is
rightfully
insane.
so.
Because the overall
Rightfully so.
package is insane with him.
Is it bad if I would ask for more female applicants?
Not at all.
Because
There's nothing wrong with it, but they wouldn't last too long on the show. You old dirty bastard.
You are an ODB.
You really are.
they might like it. I can hope.
Are those really the women you want on this show?
I don't know.
I don't think those are wrestling fans.
No. No.
I don't care.
This show will change completely.
Yep.
My kids would have to be somewhere else, I guess.
But watching
right.
Brock, there's this overall enjoyment now just watching like the SmackDown main event, which by the way has been good because of Roman's work alone.
Oh,
Well, yes.
But adding Brock
What's
into
crazy
it,
to me is he now is not there,
right?
but the aura around him has been so much better than
Right.
even Brock was when he was champ. that
Right.
No one cares that he's not there.
Right.
And also, credit to him and leading that locker room, like you said earlier. The SmackDown roster, they're picking up the slack when he's not on the show.
I don't know how people
Yeah.
can tell. Like I said, when you tell me about some of the segments, and if you hate some of the segments,
Oh, by the way,
I
like
get
Jesse
it.
was saying, watching New Japan Wrestling and all the Roman shirts, dude, Raw was packed with Roman shirts.
I know.
And by the way, I love it in red. I think it's the best color. I bought the Family Bloodline shirt in red because it looks better in red than it did in white and black.
Yeah, good job. Good
Like I
job.
said, the guy's a heel, and he's selling merch like Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's insane.
Jesse, and again, another rumor that people need to stop talking about here. If people think that WWE is inflating those numbers, because John got flack for a lot of years that WWE was inflating the numbers to try to keep New Day down,
Right.
but then New Day just kept selling it that there's nothing to do.
Right,
But here's the deal.
right.
Folks,
Well, New Day got weird and made cereal that they just made for a profit themselves.
which, by the way, wasn't terrible.
And then people were like,
Booty-O's.
"Yo, I want to
I
pre-order
bought-
that cereal."
I
You bought
bought
some
it.
Booty-O's?
Yeah. Oh,
Booty-O's
yeah.
were
Oh, yeah.
delicious, actually.
I think you can still buy them up at FYE.
Yep.
Yeah.
Booty-O's.
Up at the mall. FYE. You can buy them at the mall.
It's the only booty you eat, and it tastes that good.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go find some.
Booty-O's. They make sure you ain't booty. but anyway, no.
I'm going to go find that for the kids
To, the,
and myself.
to dispel this rumor.
The
I was
cereal.
not ready for that comment.
The cereal.
The cereal.
How my kids eat booty?
To
Cereal.
dispel this rumor, folks, damn near everyone that was in that line,
Yeah.
from whether it was online orders to pick up
Yep.
or whether it was people that bought. By the way, folks, I need to make this very clear because when I was with Allison at the Scribble Showdown show, mistake number one was made by half the audience, and there were a couple hundred people in that audience. The line for merch wrapped around one floor and went up the stairs to a second floor. Because, folks, not that I want people to do this, but it seems no matter how much I say this on whatever show I'm on, people never learn this. Get the merch
Right.
before the show.
Right.
Yeah.
Or go during the show
Right.
at a match or a part of the game you don't want to see.
Well, the problem is if you do it during Baron Corbin, then everyone's going to be out there.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. But my point is this. Get your merch before the show.
Sorry. I did say Baron. Let me clear that. I said Baron, sir. I don't need a chair shot to the dome. Okay? I don't need a shot to my
He has
balls.
to clarify Baron Corbin.
Baron.
The brother, not
Or-
the actual friend of the show.
You know,
Baron.
it could be worse now.
Not the redhead.
His
Who's got like the quiet temper of a demon.
Yes, very much so. Very much so.
and he has a human-sized version of Elf on the Shelf, which is kind of scary.
He scares me. So
We'll talk about that later. Anyway, but no. To dispel this rumor,
right.
damn near everybody got some form of Acknowledge Me merch. Something got sold.
Roman's excellent.
That was a Roman thing. But back to Brock. Yeah.
And so you added a Brock who's like, fuck it, I'll come back as the baby, which by the way I never thought would happen again. And
this man beat The Undertaker.
I know.
And fans are now cheering that he's there.
Right.
Yeah.
They're happy he's there.
Like we're like actually happy Brock's there.
Brock basically took every fan that hated him over the last 4 years for only working 6 days a year, and now they all love the. And by the way,
That's true.
Oddly enough,
Insanely true.
when Brock popped out of that SUV on Friday, Brock wasn't advertised for that show.
No, he wasn't.
No.
That was actually a moment where you got a little bit shell shocked, like
By the way,
an unscheduled Brock.
you know, AEW likes to go to Chicago a lot. I kind of love what Vince is doing. What an asshole. Is that show was in Chicago, kind of almost sold out the Allstate Arena.
Yeah,
Just saying.
Yeah. By the way, there was the floor, there was the upper bowl.
They even had the top seats.
and the
Damn near
rafters
covered.
were full
Right.
in the Allstate Arena.
Chicago came out to our SmackDown.
So surprisingly, Chicago, and yes, the CM Punk chants, yes, during Happy Talk. First of all, at this point, I think if you're able to get them, you either suck or you're sucking the way you're supposed to. And, I think it's the latter for Happy Talk.
Nowadays in WWE shows, they start and then people will boo them down, or it's the piped in noise. Actually, I don't know, because there was a friend there of mine who's from Chicago, and he was like, actually, it wasn't even the piped in boos.
Yeah,
I was actually Chicagoans booing the CM Punk because no one wants to hear that shit. Like, we're at a WWE show.
If you
boring that Baron Corbin.
If you
Fine.
want him, go do what you won't do and watch Rampage.
Right.
Anyway.
Oh, wow.
But anyway.
Have you seen the numbers?
But anyway, Brock to me is having fun.
Yes.
Which is the most important thing.
Right.
B, he really respects all the people he's working with.
And C, the storyline is fantastic.
Dude,
It is.
Dude,
I
by
love
the
it.
way,
I love
this
it.
is the genius of Paul. And yes, Eric, I know you told me that Paul is no longer on creative. You know he had a hand in what
has
happened
a hand
on
in the
Friday.
main event. He clearly does.
Let me explain something to you. Folks, in one night, and Pat and Michael saved it. They fire Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Brock comes out, and Michael Cole, oddly enough, who's been sort of the microphone of or the megaphone of Vince for the last couple of ever since JR left.
Right.
Even though JR could always spin it.
Right.
He made a really good point about maybe, just maybe, maybe Roman did need Paul to protect him from Roman because Paul to protect him from Brock, because the second Roman gets rid of Paul, all hell breaks loose. You lose on the bloodline.
Brock whooped everybody's ass.
If there was a camera guy who accidentally hit him, he would have grabbed the camera guy and he would have got F5. But it's just, guys, if you just sit back and you bask in this story from beginning to end, adding Brock has been the best wrinkle of everything they've done, which is weird because I think we all had this thought of, well, they're just going to use Brock until they find someone else to go with. And all of a sudden it's like, no, we actually want to see Brock.
Right.
But, like, guys, there's a legit chance that they might give the belt to Brock. Because it's Brock. He's always a threat to have it.
Oh, yeah.
But then number two, Jesse, they really are making Brock look great.
Man, listen.
But
whereas Roman has embarrassed everybody else. Go ahead, Leo.
But it's true. I mean, after Friday, him getting fired, Superman punch. Okay, when is Paul gonna make an appearance again? And what is he gonna do? I mean, he's gonna be off TV for
I don't know,
a couple weeks till the pay-per-view.
You do realize, I think people are forgetting, Paul has also been one of the most underrated parts of this whole thing, solely based on his oddly strange chemistry with Caleb Braxton.
And then the
chemistry that those two have is.
But as he say, as we
Paul, stop doing that.
As we acknowledged,
why is that not a shirt?
As we acknowledged before, is the tribal chief hasn't said anything about the Usos losing, but he did make reference to it.
He actually did
on this Friday, saying, "I really don't like it when the cousins lose."
Yeah,
and he just said that once, and that's it. So it's very interesting. But yeah, it is true. When is Paul Heyman going to come back, and is he going to come back with Brock? Is he going to do something like
I
that?
think we're getting another like Paul double swerve.
Yeah.
He's done this a couple times.
Yeah.
Big Show beat him up.
We
come
have
out, fight Brock, and then like he joins Big Show anyway, and then costs Brock the title. This has been done a couple times, and I got a feeling it's going to get done again for a newer audience.
Well, we can see what happens because we'll be doing a show a day after Christmas, and we have to preview. Was it the one pay-per-view? Because it's going to be day one because it's going to be 6 days from when we do that too.
It'll be a Saturday.
It's going to be a Saturday, so we'll be able to talk about it on the next pay-per-view, or the next podcast we do. So, and it'll be interesting because I'm guessing Paul Heyman is not going to be there on Friday.
No,
I don't think he will.
They actually. And so Chicago got lucky because they taped another SmackDown right after, so they got I think 3.5 hours worth of a show because of course they're not running a live show next week because of Christmas. So yeah, I no spoilers, thank God, have come out yet about SmackDown next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a tape show, so I assume it'll leak by probably Thursday.
Yeah.
It might. Yeah.
And speaking of something else that is hot, heated, and delicious, I just called Brock Lesnar delicious. That's weird. We are also sponsored by Haitian Heat.
This is Jesse's segment, not mine. So no one else is called Brock delicious.
Brought to you by local boxer Al Sands. Now, people, for those who don't know, make sure before I even get into the product, make sure you always go check on the Facebook page. He does always post updates pretty much daily now about when he's releasing new products. As it says here, they are the sauce brand brought to you by professional boxer coach and mentor Al Sands, known as the Haitian Temptation. And through their sauces, they share a food. So it's a natural sauce. Now, you've heard Zach talk about this sauce before. It is all natural ingredients because, as you know, really, when you kind of get past the seeds of a pepper, technically a pepper is very sweet. And
they are fruits.
They are fruits. So when you're putting this hot sauce on your food, you're actually getting a very nutritious sauce to cook and use with your food.
And the biggest difference between this hot sauce and any other hot sauce is it is not an overwhelming dominant flavor.
Right.
You still get the flavor of what you put into your...
Correct. So it's actually adding a flavor to what you're already making.
Exactly.
Also with Haitian Heat, it's not just the six hot sauces. It's also 2 barbecue sauces. So make sure you go to Facebook.com/Haitian Heat. Order from Al Sands. Like we always say, he is working on the Amazon page. He's working on a store page.
Yep.
He really is trying to get this thing up by Christmas. So just go to the Facebook page. Make sure you like the Facebook page. He's gonna hopefully have some news. I ran into him recently.
Yep.
And hey, get it as a gift. So you know somebody, and maybe their seasoning's garbage. Get him some Haitian Heat. Get him some Haitian Heat barbecue.
And as we said, folks, if anyone on this show, and if there's something in life that I'm honest about, as well as my wrestling opinion, it's my barbecue opinion. I love me some barbecue, and if it's bad, I will tell you it's bad.
Oh, for sure.
This is good shit.
And the hot sauce and the barbecue sauce is good for your kids. Leroy, go ahead and explain that.
Oh, of course. My kids love it.
Yeah.
They will eat it, and it's not bad. They can handle the heat.
Yes.
And they love it.
Because
we put that shit on everything.
Right, and it gives you a short. So it kind of gives you a short kick, but the flavor stays, and that's most important nowadays in a hot sauce because most hot sauces are very potent about the heat instead of the actual flavor.
I think we've gotten to a point where you've got so many ideas of hot sauce where everyone's just trying to out heat each other.
Yeah,
that no one's really trying to make a flavorful.
They don't care about the flavor.
Dish.
Yeah.
And I know he was at, they had a local show here at the Depot. He
right.
On Saturday,
Farmers
Market,
yeah.
something like that at the Depot for the holidays and everything, and he was there selling his stuff.
And by the way, folks, we also have to be clear. It has 10 different peppers, including the 4 hottest peppers on the earth.
Of course.
But, as we said, a quick burn that is intense.
That's
but
right.
but it doesn't linger.
That's right.
And it doesn't burn you out.
That's right. So make sure you go to, once again, Facebook.com/Haitian Heat and get your order today. Be very patient about the order. They locally do this
4
and
week,
ship this out.
4-week fermentation process.
Right,
which
right.
by the way, as Al has said before, he still has the original batch.
Yes,
and
he does.
And it's only gotten hotter.
So go to Facebook.com/Haitian Heat and get your order today. And heck, as Zach likes to say, because it's true, I got the barbecue sauces now. We put that shit on everything.
Oh, my God, do we?
Oh, yes.
Now to get to something that's not so hot before we get up out of here today.
All right.
Sonya and Naomi. Now, I'm going to let you guys get into it, but I just want to say this. It's a weird way to bring somebody back into a wrestling ring. Didn't they tell us in 2018, no more authority figures? You are the authority figures.
I do think the problem with that is, Jesse, is...
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Vince McMahon. And I love the man.
Yeah, you do.
I would invite him to a barbecue. Now, you would hear me yell at him while I was cooking. But
you would.
I would invite him to the barbecue.
Yes.
He trotted out his family, Shane and Stephanie and Paul. And they said, you, the fan, you are in charge now. And 3 years later, we're still talking about shitty booking. Now, we have this fucking story that instead of bringing Naomi back to face, I don't know, in a regular feud with Natalia, a Natty Hart, or a submission magician.
Shayna Baszler.
Thank you. Instead of doing that, we get Sonya involved. Now, I get you had to get her back in the ring.
Yeah.
We understood why she took the time off the fan stalking her. That needed to be dealt with.
Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah.
Zach, what the fuck are we doing here?
I'm going to be honest. To me, I think that what they've found out is that part of what makes a wrestling show work is an authority figure. They add some clarity to situations.
Okay.
So I think that's why they were brought back.
Okay.
But the truth being, I will be the first person to sit up here and say, outside of the amazing debut of Xia Li,
Which was excellent.
It
I
was
agree.
good.
It was great.
yes.
It was phenomenal.
It was
That
phenomenal.
was
and
awesome.
the damn dudes in the truck with the graphics for the TV audience.
Big ups.
Oh, my God.
Damn,
Yes.
boys.
Big ups.
On point.
Excellent stuff.
Do you read? No, okay. Let's go behind the curtain for 1 second. We got
Okay.
plenty of time right now, don't we?
Oh. Yeah.
We're doing good. We're doing
Okay,
good.
yeah. Let me make something very clear. AJ Styles has said before, I skipped NXT and went to the main roster, and they immediately said, okay, you got to hit this point, that point, and this point for the cameras. Folks, this might have been her one chance,
Right.
Yeah.
and she fucking nailed it.
Yes, she
Oh,
did.
she did.
Because the lightning was on point. Everyone, everyone's like, oh, they can just fix that. You can't edit a live show.
No.
No.
She didn't do that.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, people were like, okay, let's figure out where to put. No, she hit every spot.
And she's excellent. Xia Li has grown.
And
I
I believe she's 40 years old.
Actually, she's younger than that. So she's my age. I think she's 32, 33.
Let me get Xia.
You got it?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And I agree.
By the way, crazy story. Because Allison has now figured out that the Ancient One is now sleeping on couches, and that the power is now in Boa, which surprisingly is working.
Oh,
Down in NXT.
I thought he was talking about Doctor Strange. I was confused for a second.
She is 33. I apologize.
Okay.
Because Karen Q used to play Mei
Yeah.
Ying or something like that.
Yeah.
Mei Ying, and now she's just sleeping all over the NXT women's locker room.
Yeah.
But anyway, no.
Yeah.
But the Boa thing is actually working, in my
Yes.
opinion. But
For now.
yeah. But I'll say this: Xia Li, great job.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of prep, but it worked.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I look at it from this, and I say to myself, but I'll say to this: you have just drugged this on too long. I don't think it was a bad idea. I don't think it was pitched badly. But for some reason, whether it's been something backstage or whatever, for some reason it's being dragged so far out that it's going to be like the maybe eventual Cody Rhodes heel turn. No one's going to care.
I mean, people don't care now.
I-
Go ahead. Leroy.
I do agree
Mean, but
with
true.
Zach. I mean, they could have done this at a previous 1 or 2 pay-per-views.
Yeah.
And they could have got a couple pay-per-view matches or another
But it's also worth mentioning
Showtime match
Yeah, it's
or
also worth
SmackDown
mentioning
match. So
if they don't have
I agree.
anything for Sonya after this, that could be hurting them as well. Which by the way, Jesse's boy Bruce is very famous for not knowing where to go after he does something big.
Oh, they already failed, and I'm going to
Well,
explain
yeah,
why.
yeah.
When did the heel turns happen? So apparently, Adam and Sonya.
Oh, that's been my biggest question from day one.
like
Yeah.
What the pay-per-view? Just day one of this whole thing. When did they all of a sudden?
When
also,
did they become heel figures?
Also,
I don't know either,
Survivor
yeah.
Series made no sense because it's like, why are you so happy for Raw, but then all of a sudden you're happy? Why? The draft was done perfectly because Sonya
Yes.
took care of all the SmackDown shit and Adam took care of all the Raw shit. But now Survivor Series comes and they're both trying to make both sides better, which made no sense.
no, it doesn't.
I disagree. You want to know why I disagree?
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Because they're not even split onto the brands. They handle both brands.
I know.
Why do you care about which side wins?
That's what I was saying.
It doesn't matter. What are we doing? What are we doing? He gets F5 and now he's just a heel. What is going on?
Well, not only that, but it's like,
Sorry, kids. What is going on?
they know.
I'm
They're
not
okay.
yelling at you. I love you, kids.
Yeah.
What is going on here?
Again, this is the only downside to SmackDown.
Papa Leroy needs some ice cream. What is going on?
This is the only downside.
I have some ices. I don't have ice cream right now.
This is the
Sorry.
only downside to SmackDown.
Leroy, what I need to do is I need to hire you as HR to WWE. Okay? I need to bring you in.
He's human resources.
There's
some people at our current company that may question that
me,
position.
you, Stephanie,
That's
and Vince
true.
to have a meeting. And I'm going to look at you and go, you name 3 guys we should fire. Name them. Creatively.
Creatively, let's see. Bruce.
Can Bruce be 2 of my 3?
I would make the fat joke that he is 2 people, but no, he's still one.
Okay.
Buck. I would.
Bucktooth,
Bucktooth, Butthead,
Kevin Sullivan.
Kevin Dunn.
Kevin Dunn.
Can they both go?
Kevin Sullivan is actually he was the old school wrestler. He's actually pretty good.
Fair enough.
Well, yeah, I would get the 2 boys that are in Vince's ears. They got to go bye-bye. I'm not sure about the third one. Maybe Vince could retire.
Okay. You know what? Fair.
But
Fair.
But I think I don't know if any. I just the 2 idiots
Fair.
that have. I don't know what the hell they're trying on their own
Fair.
shit. But I can't think of anybody
So
else
let
that
me
I want to
get
fire.
you know what? Kevin Dunn gets a pass this week, and that'll never happen again.
Okay.
Okay.
Bruce Pritchard.
We're going to hold you to never again.
Oh, never again will he get a pass.
Fair enough.
But I'm going to let him go this week. He can buck-tooth his way through 15 cuts. I'm going to let it go.
All right.
Okay.
You, in a matter of 3 months, have made the Naomi return feel feckless. And this woman is a former 2-time SmackDown Women's Champion.
Yes.
Was the second to last match on a SummerSlam.
Yes.
And she's feuding with Sonya over what? When did Sonya even ever have this problem with her? See, when I talk
That's
about...
that's the other
It
thing.
is. It makes no
Is
sense.
that it's another storyline, and I've actually learned through research, a lot of the stories in which shit just kind of starts out of midair, they're actually not Vince driven. Vince, for better or for worse, has a beginning, middle, and end. Bruce likes to jump to the middle and be like, "Well, we were already here." So basically, Bruce should be.
That sounds about right.
So basically, Bruce should be in Spot Monkey, being like, "Well, you're all already over when you never fucking were. Let's just go from there."
And I agree.
Yes.
And that's the fucking problem.
Yeah.
Because he's ruining my WWE now.
Yeah, I know.
Go work with Tony. That's okay. You know what? They want to have Frantic. Oh my God! Please.
Well, not to
bring
mention
in.
the fact, what was even stranger was, so you do the Xia Li debut, which we
Yeah.
all agree was a 10 out of 10.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the very next week, you do the same shit and Xia Li's not there.
Nope.
What?
Nope.
What?
I don't.
Yeah.
And I'm not doing a Stone Cold bit here. I'm legitimately like, what?
So
Oh, yeah.
to answer the question that we have as the topic, should the feud be done? I agree. Should have been fucking over a month ago because this makes no sense anymore.
This should have only taken a month, in my opinion.
Exactly. This is stupid now. And this is the shit I get on when I say they hurt their own superstars.
This was your typical. You put the paper on the table and you say, I got a feud. It's going to last a couple of TV weeks. It's not going to take up a lot of segments. And then it's going to get one pay-per-view.
See, this is why I understand.
That's what this segment is. And we've gone through multiple pay-per-views where nothing has happened. And then pay-per-views where it's been like, why are you such a bitch?
And
that's not a personal shot. No. That's me going, why are you being a bitch?
Right.
Because we legitimately don't help me.
Well, Pat McAfee is asking that all the time.
Pat McAfee,
he is asking that all the
I
time.
don't understand why she's such an asshole. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
I also wish, the only thing that I wish would have happened when they were on commentary together was that Pat would have kept going and been like, honey, I don't need the paycheck that Vince is giving me. He just signed for $250 million on FanDuel.
But listen, you can fire me tonight if you want to, because so she sat by, this was a couple weeks ago by
I know, I remember that,
on Rick's side, and he was just like, what is your actual beef with Naomi? This makes no sense. She didn't have an answer.
Which is not her fault, that's Bruce's fault.
That's the booking.
Yes.
This needs to be over.
Like I said, Vince, love him or hate him, he at least gives people something to do. It may not always be the best, but very rarely have I seen a Vince storyline where I'm like, I have no idea where. I can see why. There are moments where okay, Jesse, you can probably confirm. Yeah. There are moments where I don't know why,
right?
But I know where he's going.
Right. You have an idea of where it's going.
With this one,
with Bruce, I don't know what the hell's going on. And for those of you who are like, why do you guys always rag on him? Because trust me, if you know the dynamic for a year,
yeah. Well, hopefully, rumor is that it's going to happen at the next pay-per-view.
Just give me a tag match with Xia. That way, it makes sense why Xia was there. My biggest problem was this. Because
how did Shayna even get dragged into this? Because she's a heel? Does anyone remember the Baron Corbin fucking vortex on Raw that was awful? Because all these guys would get mixed in and the story made no fucking sense. Also, Bruce Pritchard.
Yes.
It's a female version of it now.
For real. Because what is Shayna Baszler even doing in this? Wasn't she supposed to be like this mega heel? But of course, Charlotte kind of is the mega heel, but she's not.
Right.
The only thing I need a beer.
That's fair.
I do got one in the fridge.
I might take it.
The only thing I have to say is this: is that it would make perfect sense and would be classic WWE booking if Xia Li was booked as this protector and then came out and beat the shit out of Naomi.
Right.
That would have made sense based on the years of shitty booking.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But I'm not saying it would have worked. Now I'm sitting here saying to myself, she debuts, it's big, the crowd liked it live.
It sounded like the crowd loved it.
Oh, yeah.
And we loved it at home. And then the very next week, you literally give me the same segment minus Xia Li. You gave me the same segment minus Xia Li. This is the equivalent of once again, Mr. Kenny Omega doing a pre-taped interview for Impact and cutting the same promo on Dynamite.
Yep.
It's the same. And by the way, that's not a shot at AEW. It's a comparison of shitty WWE booking.
Right.
Yes.
But again, I think what we've learned through this era of Pritchard and People Power.
People Power.
P&P, not Pride and Powerful.
Right. People Power.
Pritchard and People.
Because John Laurinaitis didn't even get a name anymore.
Exactly.
Fuck that guy.
Because Jesse, I feel like. Oh no, hold on a sec. Funky Love. That's what we're gonna call this. Funky Love.
The Funk Man.
Funky Love.
Funky Love.
Funky
that
Love.
Works.
That's the segment.
That does work.
Jesse, what I'm noticing is Funky Love seems to be where a lot of the ideas that we just can't wrap our heads around come from.
Right.
Vince's stuff, again, we get it. Right. Whether we like it or not, he's not going to care because he's still going to give us the show.
Right.
But a lot of the stuff that just takes us out of the show seems to be Funky Love. It's not Vince. So he gets crap because he gets final say. But like Jesse said, you talk to someone for 6 days straight, they'll just believe anything. I mean, that's basically what it is.
Well, he let Vince Russo do a few things, unfortunately.
No. Actually, it's been proven that Vince Russo wasn't allowed to do things. Vince McMahon was so focused on Rock and Stone Cold that Vince Russo got free range of the other 2 hours of the show.
Yeah. That's scary.
Ugh.
Well, hopefully this will be all done on
I'm hoping
day one.
Here's the deal.
Pay-per-view.
We're already there. Let's just accept that we're already there. Just give me something at day one and then be done with it.
Yeah.
Please and thank you. At this point, I wish we were actually doing the old school booking of TNA where it was like, we're going to have this big build-up for 6 weeks, and then it'll be a 2-week wrestling feud.
I have no faith, though, because they just literally, what they did was, Xia Li wasn't a part of this segment, but what they did was they fucking spun her off into now her own feud with Natty.
Yeah.
Well, at least she is working with a very good female wrestler.
Well, but Leroy, we're not here to talk
That's
about...
the nice part.
Yeah, that's the nice part of the great in-ring work of Natty, but...
I just want a competent story.
Well, yes, I do agree with
Which
that.
you're not going to get out of Bruce.
No.
No.
Leroy, I'm a simple man. I don't ask for many things. I go home and I like my beer. I like to watch my football. If you're gonna volunteer to cook for me, I want it by 8:30. Just simple things.
Yeah.
When I'm watching pro wrestling, I like a simple story, something I can follow along with. I'm a very simple man, and Bruce Pritchard
Gives him 90
makes
days
me
of whatever.
seem like a fucking insane person because this doesn't make sense, and that's all I'm saying.
And more importantly, it will not end.
And apparently, by
That's
the way, apparently, I'm banned from emailing the guy now.
Oh, geez.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
this is
don't
why your
understand
LinkedIn
why.
resume is no longer accepted. The name's match.
apparently.
Yeah.
So I've tried, because I tried to email the goddamn podcast. I tried, and I've listened to it, and someone actually asked about, hey, do you ever not read an email or something? He's like, yes, guys that call me an idiot, and I'm like, oh, he must be talking about the few people like me because he's an idiot. All I want to see is the women's division well booked. WWE literally, and it's not even a joke anymore, has the best women's division on the planet.
Oh, it's not even close.
Yeah.
So it hurts
Because
me.
you took a girl like and again, I'll compare to any company,
Right.
but right now this is the best comparison right now.
Right.
Because everyone said WWE made it worse and then they go somewhere else. Well, Cora Jade was nothing in All Elite.
True.
And now she is a somebody over there. They
Yeah.
like her.
Right.
And by the way, she came back from that injury a lot quicker than we thought.
It was
Yeah.
pretty quick. It just, like I said,
And she seems okay.
and the problem is,
Although, again, I don't think EO will be taking her to any chiropractic.
you
appointments.
made Charlotte even more correct.
Yeah.
And now, like I said, I don't like Charlotte's booking, but now I'm starting to get what the fucking issue is.
And oddly enough, Charlotte did not get from her daddy the ability to not want to drop the title. And everyone's like, what are you talking about? Like, well, Rick, there's a lot of stories that Rick wasn't the best I'm going to job to somebody thing. And I get that maybe he didn't need to do as many jobs, especially back in those days. But Charlotte seems to sit here and be like, oh, no, that's the hottest thing we got going right now in Bianca. She needs this.
Right.
Oh, by the way, here's a simple story of how to get these belts to the
Right.
proper shows.
has even started to learn how to be a producer on her own stories. But guess what?
Another...
There's this fucking idiot who used to dress in a fucking pink salmon suit that goes, it's not an attraction, Charlotte. We got to do it this way.
You know what's
it
hilarious?
just
Go
fucking ruins things.
back and watch. I don't know if it was season 1 or season 2 of the Ruthless Aggression era. He legitimately said the attraction thing.
Yes.
And I thought to myself,
Yeah, he did say that.
we are getting good at this.
This guy's a clown. Remember when I talked about the Good Brothers?
Yes.
So from now on,
My favorite soundbite in the
we
history of our
need
show.
a new soundbite. And when it comes to John Laurinaitis and Bruce Pritchard,
Why are they clowns?
why are they clowns? That's simple.
Because they want to be.
To be fair, we're now referring to them as Funky Love. So, I mean, it's...
Funky clowns. There we go. Why are they funky clowns?
Well, we still got to include
Funky Love
Brother
Clowns.
Love. We still have to include
John
Brother Love.
Laurinaitis sucked as a wrestler. People I know people were like, well, that was just Phil talking shit. No. To be fair to Phil Brooks, watch the Funk Man. He sucked. He sucked as a pro wrestler.
His run in Japan was more due to at that point. It was first of all living off of his
brother. Yeah.
And second of all, it's also a scenario where Jesse, New Japan at that time was incredibly high on gaijins.
Well, they wanted to work with gaijins because they knew, having our wrestlers work with gaijins allows the company to grow very quickly.
Right.
Because they were more popular wrestlers at the time.
Right.
But boy, oh boy, did John Laurinaitis ever suck.
Yeah. So next week on the show, we want to give you a nice little preview because it will be our post-Christmas special. We will be, I'm just checking the calendar to make sure that there isn't a show before that. I don't think there is.
So.
No. Next week on the show, we will be talking about.
Probably day one, I think.
Nope. Well, yes, but also
We will be previewing day one, yes.
yes, but next week we'll be previewing not just day one.
yeah.
We're previewing Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies
I'll have
and
to get
gentlemen.
that stuff going.
Now, we won't be able to see it. Jesse and I won't.
Yeah.
But please also make sure to support them versus Noah.
Oh, so I think it's Tuesday the 8th
Yeah,
or something like that.
January 8th. Yeah.
Go to Fight TV. It looks like it's actually only going to be $12.
Okay, yeah.
So go to Fight TV. I believe it's 4 tag matches, and then they're going to include 2 women's matches from Stardom. Looks like a really good card. Just go support New Japan Pro Wrestling.
But next
they
week-
will actually be back in Dallas in the summer.
Nice.
So yeah, go support New Japan.
But
Pro
yes,
Wrestling.
folks, next week we will be previewing Wrestle Kingdom, and Jesse's looking forward to it.
Now I'm happy again.
Yes,
There
that's
we
how
go.
we end the show.
And happy, too, is like, because it's going to be after this, I'm going to say Merry Christmas to you, Zach. Merry Christmas
Merry
to you,
Christmas,
Jesse.
boys.
You.
Merry
Yeah.
Christmas.
And-
And again, Merry Christmas to your 2 lovely children. That
Yes.
we always
Exactly.
that are always in here, and it's like, it doesn't even phase us anymore. It does nothing.
I'm
for
about
us.
to say,
It's just
I think they've just gotten used to when I get angry.
pretty much yes. Yes.
And to our viewers, I'm going to say Merry Christmas,
Happy
Happy
holidays to
Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, or whatever holiday or whatever you
are celebrating.
celebrating.
Please enjoy it with your friends and
Oh,
family.
yes.
Right.
Please be safe as well. And we can't stress that enough. At this show, we believe science. We do not believe YouTube. Anyway, but anyway, thank you all so much for listening. Once again, you can find us on Spotify. We are up to 66 subscribers on YouTube. Please help us get to that 100 goal mark. And once again, you can find us on all forms of social media. Jesse, where can we find you on Twitter?
So you can find me on Twitter at JStow is ranting on radio. Also at 13 _cards. Also, you can find me. I'll be back on Twitch.
Fantastic.
Big J Stow 89. And just be good to each other and don't be clowns. Don't be
That's
clowns.
yes to go.
Don't be funky love.
Don't be funky.
Don't
love.
be
There we
funky
go.
love
Thank you all
clowns.
so much, and we will see you guys post-Christmas.
Bye bye.